That was it. That was it. After the end of the ceremony, we called it off.
Marvelous. So it's after the ceremony then.
Hmm.
Handsome.
I mean, I can check the recording real quick, or you could check the recording if you
Yeah,
want.
that sounds about right. We're in Desimir. Know that.
Desmer.
Wait, what the heck? My stream cut off. Hold on. Let me just resume it real quick.
Resume.
Yeah,
Well
it's
then,
gonna take
kids,
a moment.
where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to say hello to?
Why did it break? Maybe I accidentally pressed some sort of hotkey or whatever.
It's a beautiful
Anyway,
day in a very busy city.
yes. I've been thinking of getting some stuff, but I don't remember what I wanted. Well, anyway, Olaf has all of my money anyhow, and I was studying a book and entertaining, making jokes with our little
I personally
friend
like the
Hermes.
mental image of like the church ceremony's over, so everyone comes out and all these small dwarves walk around arguing. It's like, when did this ocean happen?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're in the cart, so
Yeah,
not
yeah. I
necessarily.
know you were sitting in a cart with Aramis because you
Hmm.
got shooed off by a clerk.
Yeah. Well, they don't want me in there. Also, hold on. I'm gonna try to find a picture for that real quick.
For Argus on a cart.
Well, at least the get up, the hood and everything, because I saw a nice picture of that at one point. Oh yeah, these little guys. Snipping tool. Oh, oh, this is a little silly, but it's pretty.
Look at those feet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an old lady? What kind of old lady is that?
A tall one.
That's a tall one, yeah, a lady that's gonna kick your ass. Here's the rest of the picture because it's just neat.
Pretty cool. But, oh my god, I love the one that's like standing up. I don't just look like that. Baby. Well then, kids, what do you want to do? It's a beautiful day. You have places you can go, people you can meet, hands you can shake.
Yes.
But until some great catastrophe befalls this world, you have the liberty of the world at hand.
Hopefully.
If you want to, I can start ending the world and make it a bit easier on you.
No, thanks. Hold on, where are my notes? Today. I got 3.5 notes. All right, so today is day 12. All right. All right. I believe our friend wanted to visit a bookshop. Oh, we've also talked to the linguist, Theory.
Oh yeah, that was the Nagas quill, right?
Yes, the Naga Quill shop for books, that's the one. We've also met the Enor, who is a shopkeep. Although I don't remember where that was because that was the druids thing. I was just staying in the cart.
Yeah, the
Oh,
druid.
we also found a little pseudo scroll turtle shell,
Yep.
which was neat.
Yeah.
Grasp
I gra-
firmly if you are about to get shot by hundreds of arrows.
Yes, I'm gonna keep it. We also found the Arcanist gloves, but I believe the druid took them. Okay. Well, well. We got a request from the dwarf lady, but I don't quite remember what she asked. Olaf, do you remember? Because she was talking explicitly too.
I think it was more like, hey, at some point I'm gonna need your help and I'm gonna need you to be there. More
Oh,
than
so she
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
actually give us a mission. She just said, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, we can go to the south. Excuse me, east southeast.
Well, don't we have to visit a ruin that is?
I believe that's the one. No,
I thought it was like north of town, but I could be wrong.
north. Let's take a look.
if you want to,
Southeast. There. Cliff in forest of Emtar.
that's the necromantic ruin. I thought you were going to the dwarven ruin that's
Yeah,
nearby.
we're going to the Dorn ruin, which I think
Oh,
is
if we're
that.
going.
I think that's that blue circle actually
It's
on the
that.
Toad Squad
Yes.
Mountains.
All right.
There's
Let's
a
take a peek at that one then.
there's a
I'm gonna
denoted
put it as
circle.
yes. day 12. Investigating.
I hear there's a bunch of hobgoblins using my people's ruins. They gotta die.
Well, you can leave whenever you want to. Just give me the word. It's a day or two away from here, best you can tell.
Let's do it.
I think Matthias would like to do something before you go.
If you want your will and testament set up, that's fine by me.
Something like that.
Eh?
In this town, what kind of faiths are there for someone to pray? Is it just one church universally? I forgot.
There are smaller chapels and denominations, but the Church of Moradin is definitely like the biggest, fanciest cathedral-esque building in the area.
Okay.
There are also small denominational churches of like, because the populations of elves and halflings don't have to buy their own church, so they band together and make a communal building.
Okay. I think he'll prefer a smaller one.
Well, you can find a nice small one tucked away in a corner, where clearly the land price was cheap.
No, he just simply wants to go to one and do a quick prayer to his three, which is the triad, Tyr, Torm, and Ilmater.
Ooh.
And he simply thanks them for sending him wherever this was. If they require him to adventure with these individuals, then he will do so and treat them like family as he has done with all his adventures. And then he prays to don't worry his wife so much, he'll be back.
So quick,
And then afterwards he will follow the others and have a smile on his face.
So since this is a small church, like, how does this prayer happen? Is this a matter of talking to yourself? Is it a mental thing, like just in your head?
No, he says it out loud.
Gosh, imagine that there are some people who would definitely like look and find this quite an interesting visage of a human
It's
walking
rude.
into
It's
this.
rude to
Yeah.
drop like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, once you return, Aramis is kind of kicking his feet. He doesn't like this town because there's an Azamar here, and it's something about it just made his whole day worse.
Yeah, he stuck his hand at the
Well,
top
that
of
he
a
just thought was cool
hardware.
because he tried that once and it was kind of neat, and he thinks it's kind of neat that it still works that way. He's just something about that Azamar is just getting on his nerves real bad, and he's not sure why.
I'm sure the ASMR is also pissed.
He almost immediately responds with like a stifled chuckle, like, "Good. I would prefer that fool suffer some indignity. Look at him, worshipped on hand and feet, gets to hold fancy prayers and sermons at a fancy church. For what? What has he ever done?"
You should have a bunch of tieflings sneak around the cathedral to drive them mad.
Maybe someday. Anyway, weren't we going to some magic spot so Argus could learn how to make, I don't know, candy floss?
Think so, but I think it wasn't today. Today we're going to Dwarven Ruin.
Oh.
Which might be it, but I'm not sure.
Rock candy. That's the dwarven delish.
Yeah.
We're going to
Into the hills.
Yorkish ruin. I wonder which clan it'll be.
What?
Your clan.
Yeah, see, this whole place used to be a Dwarvish empire, long, long time ago, and the ruins are all over the place. It's not really a clan per se.
Oh,
people-
well then, who was the head of it? I am quite interested in your history.
Can I?
I mean, that was a long time ago.
Can I just say that whenever Matthias talks like this, I get the feeling like there's someone sitting in the room who's like criticizing the world building and characters. Like he's just there to give writing advice.
Well, I mean, it could be. You just never know.
No, I'm just
No, but
importing my world into yours.
No,
It's a
but
joke.
that's how he sounds, like a concerned teacher who's like looking over your shoulder.
No, it's from the Ratatouille cartoon, the critic.
No, I just think it's just something I think is funny. But all right, once you can go, you can go. I'm sure you have food for a day or two to make it there.
We have 92 rations left.
The cart is just overflowing with stuff that eventually is going to rot, and then it's going to be a great day of shoveling it out.
No.
Hold on, I do have a thingy. There you
Is
go.
it
We do have a food tracker. I think.
You
I
do. You
actually have
created it.
82, not 92. Excuse me, 87.
Ugh, ugh. Well, Argus and the gang, you make your way out of Dulcimer. Let's see what the weather's like. Let's see if you bump into anyone along the way. It's always exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll meet someone. Make some new friends. You never know who you see out in the wild. I gotta take all these dice out of my dice pool, though, because they're cluttering the place up, and I can't roll like this. Thank you. First, let's see what the weather's like. Well, the next few days, I can't imagine that up here in the mountains it's any good. Ooh. It's a dusty day. Another one of those awful dust storms. On the plus side, it's cold instead of warm. So you're not sweltering as blistering sand beats you in the cheeks. On those cheeks! Where did I... I opened a page for this. Movement. How long would it take, actually, to travel through the mountains? Because, like, moving over land is very different from moving... Here we go, mountains. Even if there was... Oof. It's just going to take a bit longer than that. Moving your way through, you are bothered by the constant battering of the winds, the harsh, sharp sand, the constant growing cold as you rise in elevation and move further north, away from the equator, or wherever the hot spot in this world is. I'm looking for this. That's not completed, thanks me. Okay, well, you run into nothing, it seems. Quiet day with beautiful vistas. Watching the fog roll in. Eventually, you even outgrow the dust storm at several hundred feet off the ground. You see those large rolling dust clouds down below. It's still in your shoes. But as you go along, so does something else begin to get your attention. Olaf will be the first to notice, but you're walking on roads that, while eroded and clearly have suffered from the weather, are dwarven-made roads, like flat paths that lead places.
Fine stonework. Lasted all these years. Gives the road a nice pat.
Good job there, road. You did a good one. Eventually, you even can see in the distance this large looming structure that it takes a moment of like squinting to fully understand what it is, because erosion's a bitch, especially when you got dust storms and cold weather and rain and everything to worry about. But it is, in fact, a large dwarf who is hitting an anvil. At least that's what you think it is. And the entrance to whatever it's guarding is under the arm that connects the hammer to the anvil. It's kind of an interesting way to do it. Even from here, you can see large holes that make up windows in the structure from whoever would live in that section of the place. But you can also definitely tell that there are rocks falling, that the mountain has been active in some way, because you're pretty sure the road isn't supposed to be covered in rocks.
Well, maybe it is. It's just that nobody's there to clean it.
It is now, let's say 3 days later. It's taken a bit. The weather's as cold as ever. Not that cold that you need an extra warm coat, but definitely not pleasant. Argus can feel it in his bones.
Yeah.
At this point, you've arrived at the actual entrance itself. And you can't hear a single animal tweet. A single bird, I mean.
Are there no trees, or there are trees, just no birds?
The overgrowth around here is quite minimal. You have those rough shrubs and those mosses and grasses that grow in mountains sometimes, but trees are sparse. Deeper down below in like the valleys where the water gathers, maybe, but up here, trees can't get root, and they probably can't get the water then either.
Well, and they probably don't have as many knife ears.
Which come first, the elves or the trees?
Well, considering what comes first, the plants or the critters that inhabit the place?
Great question, Argus. You're standing in front of a long passage ahead of you. You have no light source by which to look in too deep, but the ambient light stretches ahead a while. Dwarven fortresses are often constructed in such a fashion that the entranceway is just part of a long walk in, because most of their actual structures are built inside caves and mountains and mines. So, it's a nice, healthy walk in the dark if you don't light up a torch.
I feel right at home in the dark.
You are standing at the gatehouse, so.
I have
Oh.
something exactly for that. Boop.
Tap tap.
Yes. I guess I tap it at Olaf's like helmet.
So how many light
What?
sources did you bring, bud? Don't hit your friend on the head.
He has a helmet. He got hit by a warhammer last time. He didn't care. It says when struck, so I hit it over Olaf's head like tap tap.
What are
I
you
have
trying to
brought-
do back there?
I have 2 sun rods. I just used 1, and I also have a light cantrip, but it lasts very little.
How long does it last?
10 minutes per level, which is basically, since I'm not upcasting, it's just going to be 10.
Gosh, I thought it was like an hour per level, but I guess that makes a lot more sense.
The sun rods last 6 hours, actually. So
The sun rod lasts 6 hours. The sun rod.
yeah, but this thingy only. Yeah, only 10.
Never know it was that bad. Guess I'm used to.
By the way, when
modding-
it says per level, does this mean per level as in it's like
per
0 level?
per cleric level, per caster
Yeah.
level.
Ah, well, only 10 because I'm only level 1 cleric.
You're only baby. You've only just learned how to make magic lighthouse.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So there's this guy in the book, and he taught me a few things.
Your horse, by the way, seems a bit hesitant to go inside, but you can oh, if you have horses, right? I remember that you took horses for this cart.
We have 2 horses on the cart.
Good. Your horses are a bit reluctant to come along. They aren't comfortable going into a large structure like this, because animals are okay with caves, like small caves, but large looming structures like this aren't good for food, and the back of their head keeps repeating that there's no food
Yeah,
here. Why am I
maybe-
here?
Maybe leave him in the entryway, out of the elements, but
Mhm.
not in the cave.
Now, when we're talking about the entrance, is there anything like does it open or is it just a corridor
So
leading it?
now that you're actually here,
Mhm.
and you have Olaf with you, who knows how dwarven architecture works.
Mhm.
Dwarven cities have a very interesting way of designing their gates, or at least this one does.
Mhm.
You've only seen one so far, to best I
Mhm.
know. The the way it works is they have these big, giant, several dozen feet tall stone gates that slide or hinge inward. They don't cover the whole doorway, so if you shut them, they can still snow can still fall in and all, which seems like an oversight. But then you realize this place is like a far away from the city. It probably doesn't matter all that much, and just gathers water if anything. But those doors close, and when they do, you get these extra passageways, like there are walkways on the doors themselves that you shoot over it, which makes for an interesting defensive structure.
That's clever.
There is in fact a large gatehouse nearby, which seems to connect to the massive gears and structures that allow for this gate to be moved with any ease at all, because
Mhm.
otherwise you have to shut it by pulling outwards, and that'd be difficult if there's an invader coming.
Fair enough. I would like to ask Olaf if there is any sort of like I don't even know the proper word for this, like a little enclosed space somewhere close here,
A stable,
or we
a
could
barracks.
not necessarily a stable or a barracks, just something behind a corner where we can put the cart, so it's not like readily visible from the entrance.
Just Olaf, you have dark vision enough that in this, despite this hall being far wide, you can easily point out that in the gloomy, shadowy light, yeah, there's like several doorways you can pick, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, I wouldn't call them stables, but yeah, there's rooms ahead.
unstables.
Sure.
Hmm.
You're surrounded by the massive artwork, but you can tell by the windows and the doorways that it's hollowed on the inside to be used as a barrack defensive structure.
Makes sense.
So yes, you can
Let's
park
pull
your
the cart.
horses inside if you want to.
Yes, please.
You move over to one of the doorways, open up this heavy stone door, jams a bit, or maybe they're just this heavy, and find this small, old-looking table with 2 chairs around. It's all dusty, abandoned. There's a corpse in the corner, and you just park your cart there. It'll fit through this doorway if you just ankle it a bit.
A corpse.
There's also like stairs leading out of here, a door leading somewhere else, so it's up to you.
Is the corpse fresh, or is it actually as ancient as the rest of this?
It's pretty old looking. It's like it's bones. Something went in here, picked it clean, and left it behind.
Hmm.
It's a short-looking figure, shorter than you at least.
Olaf, is it one of yours?
You mean my kind? Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's not one of my, clan or anything, but
Hmm.
he came here to die alone, cold, and surrounded by stone.
Did
Perfect
you?
way to die. Ha!
Did you?
What? I came to kill some stuff in here, but if I
Oh.
die, I die.
Hmm.
Argus, can you roll me a spot check as you sit
Yes.
here having a jolly over this corpse?
Yes. 15.
So you look at this body for a while, and well, he looks, normal enough for what a skeleton is. You
Mhm.
can't help but notice that some of his bones don't look quite right. Some of them are too long, others too short. Some have this weird bend to them. Like those, that's clearly like an arm bone of some variety, judging by where it's positioned. But it's weirdly twisted. Not like an arc, but it curls in on itself too.
Hmm.
Wait.
That is weird. I'm going to cast this. I should have that because I don't need water anymore. There we go. I'd like to investigate.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, sure. Roll me that spellcraft, because as you stand here, there is a very faint but pervasive aura hanging in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So roll me spellcraft, and maybe you can see what kind of aura it is.
I don't think I can. Untrained. Oh, right, because I chose the concentration on the first level up. Yeah, I don't think I can in that case.
But you get 3 skill ranks. Would you spend them all on concentration? Ooh.
Well, I mean, if you allow me, I'll just spread them around on one because that will allow me to actually use things without being super
Oh
proficient in
well.
them.
Well, there's definitely a weird faint. Like, there is no such thing as like a background magic aura. There is magic in places, yes. It's
Mm-hmm.
just ambiently around, but you don't pick it up when you cast detect magic. It's designed to hone in on things.
Mm.
And it's weird that you're picking up anything at all, especially something like this. It feels faint and distant, sort of like you're near a big wildfire. You can sort of tell that there's a bigger, larger source, and this isn't just a faintness in the room itself.
So something basically worked the bones of this person, and that might have killed them.
Could
I'd
be.
like to.
I mean, you can't imagine it's very pleasant if that's what happened to him.
Yeah. Argus would like to describe that to Matthias and Olaf and Diagala and ask them if they maybe recognize something or have heard about something that could do that. Because I don't suppose this is bonyitis.
Bonitis. Oh well. I mean, Olaf, unless he's like a specific doctor, probably never heard of this.
Hmm.
I don't know if DG has enough experience with dwarves to know if anything like this could happen. But
Well, it doesn't look like a hobgoblin killed him, that's for sure.
I know enough about organs, but I've never seen anything like this. Unless I suppose I could roll something like medicine that might have factored into this.
sure. Roll me that heal check, see if you can detect something together.
Okay.
But you can also ask me a question, and I'll answer that question to as best as your roll would technically allow your character to figure out.
Okay, I would like to figure out if this is just like a natural condition or if it's explicitly like when you bend the bone, it will probably like shatter and splinter and everything. Like
Okay, what's
what
your
is
heal
on the
modifier?
+6.
I'll just say that you can take 10 on that, and no, this ain't natural.
All right.
People bones do not twist in on themselves like that.
Hmm.
There are no creatures that you know of, at least from the top of your head, where the bone spirals. It's just not a very efficient shape to have a bone work. Unless you had
Yeah.
like really weird muscles.
Those really weird sharks had jaws like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Show me the goods.
Hold on.
But yeah, this weird stuff, just weird. Brrr. It's cold here.
So, they found specific like spiral tooth fossils, and they've been going nuts trying to like imagine what sort of short thing it is.
Jesus.
I know, right?
What? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it.
Like there's a lot of dumb shit,
How do
and
you? How does that even work? What's it for?
I don't know. It's definitely not like a circular saw or something. There's also this little stupid like mollusk with with a shell that like loops on itself like a paper clip.
Well, fine. Anyway, as I said, this ain't natural. This ain't normal, man. You have permission to have the heebie-jeebies.
I have the heebie-jeebies. Look at this also.
They look like trombones.
Exactly.
Paperclip fish.
I'm gonna play the mollusk.
Hmm. They're I'm pretty sure they're called the sea trombones or something.
Marvelous. Well, Argus, you've discovered that. Would you like to take a further look around the place, or are you like, yeah, let's park the
Yeah,
cart
I'd
and
like
go?
to investigate the room. Maybe there's something else in here, and then move deeper inside. Might explain why the horses are antsy. But then again, horses are antsy about fucking everything.
Great. Oh wow, that's actually interesting. Um, you take a look around the room. Oh, well, that's wow. Yeah, that is weird. You take a good look around the room. It considering where you are in terms of defensive structure, it's probably just a guard room where people would sit as they are waiting for things to happen, or they like to back up guard if they need to check a big cart or something. But nothing about it feels out of the ordinary. It's a bit sparse. You'd imagine there'd be like a chest or something, or a place they would keep stuff, and maybe even more chairs because it's a pretty big table.
Mhm.
It's like half as many chairs as you think they would be. But on the other hand, considering this guy sitting here, and to the best of your knowledge, was that the way nude? Someone have looted this place in the meantime, or at the very least the guardhouse. You know, the easy accessible spot. So yeah,
Oh, I suppose we should head inside
marvelous.
and see what's up. But I don't like this personally. If we see some sort of danger, we should probably move out. Then again, the goblins are here. Allegedly.
The further you go, the sooner it becomes apparent that this town has more problems than just skeletons with weird bones.
Hmm.
Up ahead is where Olaf could tell you a dwarven town is supposed to begin, but it's so collapsed in on itself that it's more like a giant heap of debris that happens to have some passageways in it. It's you should leave your cart somewhere. Like you couldn't even take it in there if you want it. It's narrow and kind of twisty, and Argus' size is getting in the way a bit.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I assumed we left it by the horses.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I assume you did, but I'm just like, if you did, this is non-navigable. Would have been a problem. Which is to say, so as you squeeze in, and it becomes apparent that you are inside. Not these aren't streets. These aren't passageways. This is a lot of houses got smushed together over time, warped into each other, and as a result, you end up with passages that are hallways that connect to houses that aren't part of them. It's kind of trippy, but at the same time, kind of confusing as well. Because hallways twist in awkward ways. The floor becomes the wall becomes the floor again, and there's lots of just debris in the way. Welcome,
Okay, I'm gonna.
Argus. You had a light source up.
Yeah, I'm gonna set a 60 feet light.
I'm going to say that because you haven't spent too much time there, you haven't lost any significant time. How big is this light source? It's like 30, 60?
30-foot radius illuminates, provides shadowy illumination for 60.
Yeah, that's what
So,
we call
bright
that.
light-
I call that 60-30 because,
Yeah, 60-30.
there. You now have a big bright light source.
Hmm.
Olaf, you too can tell because you are a dwarf. This is not how dwarven architecture is supposed to look at all.
Mhm.
Time has not been kind to this ruin.
Turn it down a bit in terms of intensity. Ugh.
Do you recognize anything?
Well, the bricks and stonework and the smooth walls, yes, they make sense, but this is not how it comes together. Like if you smashed a wooden and a brick and a solid stone building together, it's like weird in that way.
I mean, this is Durf work,
Dirt.
but looks like something something pancaked them together.
Well, pick a direction and pray, and hope that nothing bad happens. Also, since it's been 3 days, don't forget to apply healing as if 3 days have passed, just in case you were a little hurt. You've probably gotten over that by now.
Yeah.
Oh, Aramis, I hope those 8 hit points come in helpful. To the west, you can tell that the walls and all crouch in on each other and make for an awkward passage, but there is a doorway there, and there's also a doorway to the east. The walls have crumbled in a bit, but it's all navigable easily enough.
I'm gonna toss a coin. Well, one is gonna be. Well,
Sure.
I guess 1d2. Yeah. Roll 1d2.
You can always just
So,
say, yeah.
1 is left, 2 is right.
You can always, instead of 1 or 2, you can always say high and low. It's a bit more easy to remember. That's 2.
Fair enough. So I guess to the right. Hello, Doggo.
Bark, bork, Bjork.
There's something weird with the light here. It's like a wall going at an angle.
Yep. Well, not on a wall
We
going
gotta
in.
squeeze past this stone right here.
Argus, you are confronted by a large metal door.
I'm
It has
gonna wait for Olaf.
Yeah,
Well-
it's a door, right?
Marvelous. That is a door. How do you know? Did the fact that it has hinges give it away?
Yes. That's how I recognize doors.
No need to get sassy with me, boys. I shake my hips. Anyway, Tweedledum and Tweedledum are assumed to be near your party at all times. I'm just dragging them along as I need to.
Fair enough.
Um,
Olaf, would you like to open it?
Okay.
you pull the lever, but the door doesn't do anything.
Try lifting from the bottom.
No, it's locked.
Don't suppose we have thieves' tool specialist in the party. I think that might have been Matthias, but I'm not sure.
No.
I don't think anybody knows how to pick a lock.
I mean, I usually pick a lock with brute force, but this is a fine dwarf work. I don't think that's gonna work.
Is there like a keyhole or something of the sort?
Yeah, there's definitely like a keyhole below the handle that's used to open the
Can I
door.
peek through it? Is it see-through?
I imagine that a big sturdy door like this you could probably peek through. Yes. The problem is, how do you put a light source that points through it while you look through it?
I put it between me and the door.
So now you're blinding yourself with a sun rod.
You're blind.
I can
Yeah, it
block-
doesn't really work.
I can block it with my hand.
You know, you can give me a dexterity check to see if you can make that work, because that's like very flimsy stuff you're doing here. You're trying to aim a flashlight that aims in every direction through a hole while also looking through said hole. Well, I don't know how you're pulling it off, but maybe it's because your eyes are so big. Peeking through, you see what looks to be a monumental chamber at first, but then you become aware that it's this weird. It's at least 4 different rooms that have been smushed together at different angles. You can roll me a spot check, actually, because there might be something
What?
through there. Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
You see something scuttle through the room. It moves rather quickly, and it looks rather pale in complexion, but that's about all you can make out. Do you wish to keep looking? Perhaps you can identify more.
Yes.
You keep peeking. Everyone else watches Argus like pushed up against the door, peeking through the handle. And then Argus is suddenly confronted by a glossy black eye staring back at him through the doorway. And then whatever's on the other side flinches away.
I would like to communicate with it, or try to communicate with it.
You hear, well, when it flinched, it hissed. It did not make the usual human politeness sounds, but it sounded very aggressive.
Maybe this door should stay closed for now.
Gosh, what an idea.
I'm going to explain to the rest of the party that I've seen something pale, fast, and with big black eyes behind this door.
Kind of gaunt too, maybe? Like skinny.
Very skinny.
I imagine if
It
DG
doesn't
was here,
sound
this
like
would be...
any goblin to me.
If DG was
No.
here, they'd probably be like, "Oh man, we should probably say hello," or something.
Well, I did actually say hello. All the standard greetings and salutations, I suppose, but it recoiled on like hissed and everything. Um, I'm starting to get really weird vibes, so I'm gonna blow the one spell that I get. Well, one of two, which is this. Is it gonna roll? There we go.
Detect undead.
Mhm.
Aren't these things usually stopped by thick metal doors?
Could be.
Yeah.
So it would be a bad idea. Well, hold on.
The spell that you find in the book does specifically mention that it doesn't really work all that well when you're trying to scan through thick objects. Like density can stop it.
Yeah, but it does say then you discern its direction but not exact location, and I'm just trying to confirm whether or not.
Each
that
round,
is
you can
exact.
detect undead in a new area. The spell can penetrate barriers, but 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt blocks it.
Ugh. No, I guess that's wasted then. But it does last for a minute, I think.
Now, you can technically peek through the keyhole and see it,
Mhm.
can't you?
Yeah. Well, that's what I did. Yeah. So
So,
I guess I'll look for it.
everyone watches Argus cast a little abracadabra, abracazoo. Does anyone have anything to say about this? Or is this okay with Argus being like the front man?
I'm
What
perfectly
the hell you
fine.
doing, lizard?
For some reason, Matthias doesn't have the light source at all.
Yeah.
Like I can see the wolf and I can see the agala and I can see all of, but not
Argus,
Matthias.
where did your light source go is the real question.
I'm not
There you go.
sure.
There we go.
Right here.
Now I see everyone. I was wondering.
You can click and drag. Maybe if it click and drag an empty space and it should unselect your token and it should reveal like the combined light sources of everybody.
Dun 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 dun. Detect undead has a table associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know if that's important. But let me see. Oh, cool. The table isn't in there. I have to find the play. Wait, how's this in the player's handbook? But I can't find it on the detect undead. There it is. Ooh. Okay. First, you find the absence. There's an undead behind this door. The number of undead auras is only one. To within the cone that you emit. It's also trying to hide on the ceiling. To what you can tell, the number of strength of the orc, your good line of the strongest is overwhelming, and the creature's is at least twice your character level. Well, it's character level, so on the plus side, you're not stunned. However, let's see, strength locations. Okay, cool. You can sense that about 20 feet ahead of you, horizontally, and about 10 to 20 feet up to the ceiling, is a moderate strength aura of an undead, and that's the originator. However, there's a lingering aura in the area as if it's been stalking around this place for a while.
Well, I don't know what it is, but there's something nasty on the other end, and it is undead.
You then have to wipe your hands clean of the grave dirt that has lost its potency.
Yes.
It's kind of all smelly and gross.
Yes. Which is fine. I'm not afraid of dirtying my hands, I guess.
Well, that's all this door has to offer you, which you can't even open, so... Boop.
Well, at least there's that. Well, while we still have the time on this rod, we should probably head elsewhere. Matthias, are you okay?
Yeah.
He's just...
Yeah, another door over here.
Matthews is just enjoying life, you know. The thick stone door in front of you, well, it has this fine image of a dwarf working iron. Big anvil in front of him, hammer in his hand. In his other hand, he holds this piece of metal and looks at it with a contemplative look. It's all very rigid, very geometric. You can
That's
open the
Smithy?
door. You can open the door if you want to.
Yeah.
You open the door and see in front of you, this room has been collapsed in half. The roof has snapped in the middle, and debris has filled much of the center of the room. From the corner of your eye, you can spot a small fire surrounded by several reptilian individuals. Olaf, when the door opens, spots something else, namely a goblin pierced against the wall by several sharp, bony javelins. He's a fresh kill by the looks of it.
Hmm. Do I recognize these as anything? Because I do recognize the token. I think those are troglodytes, but does my character recognize them?
I imagine troglodytes are pretty common, so you can roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
Pretty common creatures. So if they are
Hmm.
troglodytes, you probably would have told them.
Let me
Yeah, they're
check.
probably trogs.
Hmm.
Their smell's starting to get you, but they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, they're big stinky. Do they speak Draconic? Do I remember if they speak Draconic?
Oh man, I don't like how these imports work. I think they do. I think
In that
that's
case, I would like to greet them in Draconic.
Is everyone else okay with this course of action?
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, you lizard, you talk to the other lizards.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm going to introduce myself and try to discern their reaction to my voice. Are they immediately hostile? Are they like pointing weapons at me?
The one closest to you is the first to respond. The sound reaches him first. Since you are intentionally addressing him, he doesn't have to roll anything. He just gets up and pulls out, well, a javelin of sorts and aims it at you for a moment before he sees where you are and what you're doing.
Mhm.
Since he moved, you're able to tell that the fire that he's sitting next to has several hunks of meat hanging from it, as well as some interesting selection of cave moss mushrooms. It looks like a nice saute at least. Now that it sees you, are you armored or armed or otherwise, looking like you're ready to lay down, low down?
My hands are empty. I only have a book in them.
In that case, the creature is not immediately hostile. So be confused about that book. Like, what are you doing with that? But it doesn't immediately respond hostilely. What do you say to it?
I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm going to ask if we would be welcome at their fire.
Ooh. You know what?
We have a bunch of food on us, so we could probably share that.
So your opening is going to be, hey, can we shack?
Yeah, exactly. Since they're actually sitting here, they probably know a little bit more about this.
Cool.
No, we
Well,
Hey, tell them I like their handiwork.
Point over at the goblin.
I will translate to the best of my ability the phrase of "You did a fine work skewering that."
the troglodyte seems to be content with your response, as well as seems to be all right with your presence for now. However, he might respond negatively to the fact that he just hears a weird voice coming from around the corner. And so he asks, how many of there are you?
5.
That's technically the correct number, I guess. He's okay with your presence for now, so if you wanted to come in, was it?
Yeah, I said if I'm welcome at the fire, I'm going to share some food. I guess the rest of the party can either come with me or stay behind. Just I'm going to tell them not to be like armed.
Okay. Well, what he's going to ask you straight away is like what you're doing here, because you're surfacers, and this is not a place for surfacers. It's underground.
We work
They'll
hard.
get the idea pretty quickly when Olaf walks over to the goblin corpse and starts desecrating it.
Oh my god. I'm going to point towards Olaf and I'm going to say that we're here to get rid of the we're here to get rid of the goblins.
You get a simple response back. Why?
They are a pest to the surfacers, and they hired us to get rid of them.
Due to the way that the draconic sentence structure works, you just said him. They hired us, as in the hobgoblins hired us to get rid of them because they're a pest to other people.
Well, I suppose Argus would know that because that's their language. So I
Yeah.
would phrase it in such a way that surfacers hired us to get rid of goblins because they are pests.
Careful with your what are they called again? Articles? No. Point is, you
Pronouns.
you forget for a moment how to make pronouns work in Draconic. It's super weird, but after managing to successfully do it, they still seem a bit confused. Like, okay, I guess, like, aren't there better places to find You can definitely tell that he doesn't quite understand why you're going here of all places to go to fight some hobgoblins. Hey, who cares?
Yeah, fair enough.
It gives you the simple wording that as long as you don't cause any trouble, there won't be any trouble.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to share some food with them from my own personal, I guess.
Okay.
Backpack.
Well, since you show such a polite gesture, they warn you that they have some friends up ahead who are planning an ambush for some annoying Morlocks who stole some stuff from them. So,
fair enough. Well, it's
don't
not
kill
necessarily that's not necessarily our trouble, so we'll give them a wide berth. Is there anything we can tell them so they don't attack us? Just so, like a phrase or whatever. Do you have a name?
Oh, they're very. He gives you the basic loan that they're very distracted by the the Morlock. So if you just don't make yourself look aggressive or anything, they'll probably ignore you.
Fair enough. Is it possible for me to barter for some of that moss? Is it edible or is it for like healing or something? What exactly is its nature?
The stuff that they're cooking is, if you're a dwarf and you don't like Olaf, being a dwarf can tell you that if you live underground, there are certain types of things that are essentially the equivalent of eating grass off the ground. That's what this stuff is.
That's cave mushrooms and lichen. It's all right if you get nothing else to eat, but I like meat.
Well, I'll give them
You
some
wouldn't
of
sell
our-
it at an inn.
as a gesture of unless you have an in for troglodytes, I guess.
Well, actually, the troglodytes are very interested in this food that you've brought. It's very different from what they usually have.
Mhm.
And they happen to have something else. See, one of them, upon smelling this food, which it's rations, it doesn't smell that much. So the fact that they're able to pick up on this is kind of interesting on its
Well,
own.
it's right. It's dry meat, something that doesn't spoil, like rusk bread.
But it still has
Stuff
like
like that.
a mild aroma to it. One of them reaches into the bag that they have near them. They have this big sack, and they reach into it, and he pulls out his hand, and it's filled with a smattering of silver coins.
Hmm.
And then he points at your food, and he's like, come on.
No, if they want to trade, I'm not against that. You
So-
gotta hand them over.
So do you have any particular
Fire.
rations that you might think would be extra spicy for these boys? Because they seem very interested in getting some fresh foods.
Extra spicy. Well, I suppose they could use some meat since they don't exactly live, overground. I don't think they actually need like any sort of like vitamin D or anything. But something that is actually, chewy, tasty, spicy, something that's better than just bland underground mushrooms.
Jerky.
Yeah, jerky.
Marvelous.
I mean, technically, I think I still have like, oh no, bone broth is gone already. Never mind.
Oh, that would have been great.
It's fucking tasty. If you evaporate some of that and leave it overnight in the fridge, you can get some aspic out of it.
Well, so you're offering them some fine rations.
Mhm.
Let's see, they're going to offer you a high price for that because they're very interested in some fresh food. And what use has silver to them? They live underground. They're not exactly part of an organized economic society. So they're like, you know what? We found this big fat bag. Sure. So how many rations are you offering?
5.
5 whole rations. You know what? They'll give you 100 silver per pop because they don't know how much money is really worth. So they're like, here, take like a sixth of this bag, pour it out in your hand. That's what you
Okay.
get. That's what we get. And they
Fair
start
enough.
already thinking about how they might make this into something tasty.
Mhm.
They also warn you of another thing that, first they wish you the best of luck with your trips, but they warn you not to get too close to the screaming fungus.
I'd like to try and get more information about the description in general.
They're-
What are the signs that we can recognize that one of them is nearby?
Well, first and foremost, the screaming fungus, according to them, don't grow unless there's a large amount of fungus in the area. They aren't sure why. There's this, like, if you clear out the fungus in the area, they stop growing and they start withering. They're not quite sure how that works, but apparently they're sort of protective or something. They tend to be large purple fungus with large holes in them, like a big wind bag that's gonna go, and then goes as the sound comes out. They also seem to be breathing most of the time, keeping their air sacs flexible and stuff.
That sounds a little gross.
Yeah, they're not pleasant, but they're good for defenses if you want to set up an alarm system because they're quite easy to transplant as long as you have a large area with lots of moss.
Okay, well, fair enough. I'm going to say our farewells for now, and we're going to head forward.
Again, best of luck.
Thank you. I'm going to relay that information to the rest of the party. I'm going to explain to them about the ambush of the troglodyte's head. I'm going to tell them about the mushrooms and so forth. The screaming mushrooms. And they've given us some silver coins. How many did we get?
About 500. Like, they were very interested in a good meal.
Mhm.
Also,
Fair
they
enough.
they thought you were neat, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, I do kind of look like that. Don't stink as much, but that's okay. I can fix that sometime.
Man, nothing quite like bacon bits.
Mm-hmm.
Just add a little spice to turkey.
All right. Well, we still have. Oh, my thing went out again.
Yeah, mine too.
It's
Oh,
weird.
man. Oh, man. Well, why does it do that anyway?
I'm not sure.
It might be that there's something on your character that's trying to override it or something.
Maybe every time like I change anything in my inventory, like reduce the rations and stuff.
Oh, I didn't do anything on mine. It just went blank.
Hmm. It's strange. Maybe it's like on a duration for some reason. Like it's a certain amount of rounds passes, or
Mm.
I'm not sure. Anyway, I think there was a door here.
The funny thing is,
Oh
I
yeah,
know
I
that if you carry a torch, like you can make a torch light up for your character, but it's weird.
yeah.
Anyway, I'll give you a fresh light source to work with.
Thank you. Oh, it's locked. Okay,
Oh, give me a moment while I
that's
sneeze.
okay. Bless you.
There we go. I can see.
Hmm. Does
Well,
Olaf have like that little thing for like a mohawk on the helmet? Like a little
What?
socket? You know
No.
how they do like
Well,
centurions and whatnot? They have like this little socket on the helmets.
oh, Argus, before you just run ahead of that door, can I
Yeah.
please tell you what's up with it first?
Oh yeah, sure, fair enough.
The door in front of you is indeed a large, sturdy stone door. However, due to the fact that this room has been completely malformed, the door is actually slightly ajar, and there's a small crack at the bottom that a small or medium creature could try to force themselves through if they wanted to.
Well, I'm slinky. I suppose I could go in there and try it.
Argus, you're like 250 pounds. You're like the biggest person around here.
Mm. Well, Ermiston maybe.
The horns make his profile a lot bigger than it looks.
Oh my god. Maybe Diagolodon? I
5'8".
know. I know that Matthias is like. Oh, Matthias, your hit points are not at max.
Gosh, I don't even know what squeezing would fall under. Tumble? That seems like a fair one.
Dexterity could be a thing.
Yeah, tumble falls under that, and tumble tends to be the weird acrobatics thing, so I'd say it's tumble for now until I figure out what the real answer is. So, are you sure about this? Is this what you want? You want to send her beyond this mysterious door?
Well, it's not that I want to send. I just want to maybe see and peek. Oh, you know, I'm gonna
Escape
just light-
artist, that's the one, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to light the sun rod underneath and see what's in there. Like, also, by the way, guys, just because I'm doing all this is because I'm curious. Like, if you want to do something, just tell me.
Beyond this
Alright.
appears to be a hallway that in the distance you see another stone door, but you see that stone door has like this big key below the handle. This big thing sticking out.
Is the keyhole shape the same as on the other door? Because it's about roughly the same. Like, well, it makes sense for it to be the same sort of.
You mean this door that you're
Sure.
standing in front of?
No, the other one.
That was a large
said
metal
that there-
door. That's a large stone key. It doesn't feel like it would match, but maybe it does.
So it might not. Well, you did say that the other room was like super big with like 4 rooms meshed together, but fair enough. Well, I suppose that doesn't really matter right now. We can come back here. Let's just investigate everything else if you're okay with it. Did you find anything on this goblin, by the way? Hobgoblin?
Just as the expected fare. He has a quiver that might have contained javelins at some point, a long sword, and his armor and shield. Nothing too exciting. Other than, a bag with a couple of rations in it, but...
Well, these guys, I guess, didn't want them, and I suppose they're spoiled by now.
Well, to be fair, they're not rations that look appealing. This is like dry Brussels sprouts and all that, like what's it
Brussels
called?
sprouts are
Sauerkraut
fucking
and stuff.
Sauerkraut is fucking good. You're describing
love
a dream Russian for me.
But
I'm
apparently,
gonna say I love sauerkraut.
but I listen. My opinion of sauerkraut aside, the troglodytes clearly don't like it because they're the ones who took the body stuff, probably.
When America invaded London and Normandy, that really made some sauerkrauts.
No.
But I'm bummed.
Argus opens up another firm stone door. Ooh la la. In fact, this one slides off to one side, and once you set it into motion, it just goes. Whoop.
Oh, is it loud? I'd like to try and like stop it.
If you try to stop it, yes, you can do that. You know what? You can roll me a strength check to see if you can do that without getting your fingers caught in the process. Because
I'd like to. Yeah, broken fingers suck.
you managed to get the door to slide into place without making a loud thump. Just roll these guys up into a nice triangle. It's a bit easier to move.
Yeah, I am going to take out a javelin that we're moving like deeper in, just in case.
You are now inside of a large chamber. What gets you is that through this archway you can see a chamber that's filled with moss. But this chamber, there are tables, there are workbenches with the fine arms and things you could hang tools from, but just about everything has been taken. There's also some holes that lead directly down into the ground and soil that appear to have been dug. It's unclear how old they are, but they're not part of the natural architecture.
Do they look like burrows?
Probably.
Does it, from what I know about the troglodytes, does it look like something that the troglodytes might have dug out?
They don't really dig. That's not really what they're known for. At least they might be something. They might be troglodytes no one's ever seen or no one's ever hung out with them long enough. But folk knowledge says that they don't dig.
Do they look well used? As in, like, the edges of those holes would probably be
They're pretty smooth.
smooth. So, well, I'd like to point that out to the party in case somebody missed those, and just to keep that in mind, because they're not actually marked on the map that I can see. And I suppose I'm going to move forward to the mushrooms.
That's because I would strongly recommend not going down them. They're part of.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I am allergic to tiny little holes. I'm definitely afraid of falling into one accidentally too.
As you peek on ahead, you see a room covered to the brim in moss. A variety of mosses, in fact. Some are just carpeting the ground. Others stand up like blades of grass with odd yellow tips. It's a very strange chamber to look at in terms of color and composition. What catches your eye more than anything else, however, are the towering large mushrooms that, as were described before, have these large holes in them and seem to be breathing ambiently. Even though they breathe very slowly, the sound that comes from them is shrill and harsh.
Just as the screamers, I guess.
Additionally, the air in this place is starting to officially start to get that cave dampness, that thick, kind of wettish cave air that... Ugh.
Unvented air, I guess. Very stagnant.
Yeah. Luckily, in fancy settings, you don't have to worry about the fact that underground environments would actually have very big problems concerning air, but that gets in the way of the fun.
That does, really, but good thing we don't have, like, what's it called? Actual fire with us. That would burn the oxygen.
Nah, I'm not going to sit on that. Also, because that's the kind of simulationism you have video games for. Actually, I've yet to see a video game where that's a massive component, but hey.
Metro 2033 has that sort of stuff.
What, you can burn up oxygen with a match?
Oh, no, not that. I specifically like the lack of oxygen.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more complex oxygen interactions, like the fact that flammable stuff can't burn it that well. Or...
Oxygen not included, literally. It has that. That's done.
Fine. Well, as I mentioned, there are those large creatures ahead. You're unsure if they're even... but, they're there.
Well, I'm going to give them a wide berth just in case. Since it's a sun road, I suppose these things might not like light, so I'm going to, like, shield it from them from it with a hand, maybe.
I'm also going to say
close my hand around it so it's like more like a flashlight rather than just eliminating everything.
I'm going to say at this point that about 20 minutes have passed, just for context.
Yeah, fair enough. We
have
have
spent some time talking. You've spent some time taking a good look at things.
Well, I think this door is actually open, so.
Luckily, because of the moss, your footsteps are significantly muffled.
Yes.
As for that door, you find beyond it a closet, but all of the contents have been crushed under. It used to be a closet, like a proper closed closet, but everything's been crushed and smushed and torn.
All right. Well, I'm going to carefully and slowly move past this thing as to not to disturb it. But if it decides to become a problem, I'm just going to toss the thing at it.
How lovely. Let's see. How would it try to pick up on your presence? Not with them 2 wisdom in 8. Cool. You know what? How about we have who here has the worst move silently and hide skills?
Let me check.
Probably Olaf.
Yeah.
He probably has better than mine, actually.
What do you
Mine
want?
is -2.
I want move silently and hide, like the 2 main skills. I just want one from the whole party because otherwise we end up with a clusterfuck.
Yeah, my move silently is -2. My hide is -2 as well.
Olaf is -12.
Probably. I was gonna say I'm not good at either one of those
Well,
things.
I'm at -3. I think I should do it.
Olaf has -12.
Oh,
yeah,
never mind. then.
Tower
I
shields,
clank
man.
around.
Oh yeah, I forgot tower shields. Yes.
If you put that away for a moment, it'll be a lot less worse.
We're gonna put Olaf on the tower shield and just drag him across the moss silently.
There you go.
Okay, in that case, it's the -3 man who gets to roll me those 2. Against... Well, however good these things can hear it. Where's the
So
buttons?
move silently, and what was the other one?
Move silently and hide. Essentially the 2,
Alright, so-
detecting skills.
All right, so here's move silently. And hide.
Listen and spot.
Ooh.
Ooh, they didn't hear
Yeah.
you, but they saw you.
Go ahead and make your way through the room. As you do, the things around you start to breathe faster, and the sound becomes this almost sharp flute-like noise, like a whistle.
So they're agitated, but they're not like super
They
hostile.
they're definitely agitated, and it's not. You can't imagine this is why why they would be called screaming plants or anything, but they do make enough sound that if someone wanted to know that you were there, they would definitely pick up on that, and they do because Argus, if you look to your north, there's some dudes there who notice your light source and turn to you. And one of them, who looks a little sickly, but still looks like he probably could kick some ass if he wanted to, holds his javelin up for a moment.
I'm going to, as I asked before, call out the name of their leader. I'm going to say that I'm not here in Draconic, that I am not here.
Well, since
to-
you're not
to-
slathered in blood, it's easy to make that claim. So he looks at you for a moment and then drops his guard, since there is this portcullis in the way. So he's like, "Yeah, what can you do?"
Yes.
He does seem
yeah.
to gesture a bit. Like, he doesn't want to talk, but he gestures something at you. One of which
it-
is to be quiet, and the other of which is that there's something around the corner that he's dealing with.
Okay. I'm going to turn to the rest of the party and whisper, should we help?
Since they didn't attack us in the other room, I think it's only fair that we assist.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, I'm going to skulk over.
One of them
the
moves.
door's closed,
One of them moves over to the side here and starts
Oh, wait.
working something. You're not sure what he's working on, but it's like this click, click, click. And then he twists something, and the portcullis can now be raised.
Fair enough.
In fact,
There
when
you
you
go,
raise the
thank you.
portcullis, you know how roller coaster on the cable car section they have the little click 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 sound. What that is, if you don't know, is there's this sawtooth section underneath, and there's a little mechanical thing that jumps into those sawtooths, so that if the cable shuts down, you just sit there because the thing's against the tooth. That's kind of what's happening with this portcullis. As you lift it up, you just clickety clickety click as it sets in place, and if you drop it, it just goes down an inch at most. Dwarven ingenuity.
This is kind of awesome. Okay, I'm going to try and talk to this guy, and then as they're talking, I guess, translate it to the rest of the party as well. Don't want them to feel left out.
They mentioned something about how there are Morlocks around the corner.
Now, can I try to recall what Morlocks are?
I guess. Let's see, what would that be? Actually, I think, first off, I think they're humanoids, so that would fall under the knowledge local. Nope, they're monster humanoids, so I think that's something else. Well, ain't that something?
I believe that's dungeoneering, right?
It could be dungeoneering,
maybe
or it could
not.
be nature. Let's see what our local lady. Oh, our local lady has only nature. Oh well. Oh wait, that is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So what exactly do you want to know about them?
Are they like, just natural enemies of the troglodytes, or are they just assholes?
Grimlock. Oh no, excuse me, not Morlocks. They're Grimlocks. So the creature that they're talking about they're cave dwellers, but they look like people, but they're not. They're very aggressive. They're hard to negotiate with. You could befriend one, but they're not that nice or interesting to talk to or anything. And they would probably stab you in the back the first time they got the chance because they don't really care about anything. They hang out in groups because it helps them survive. But they're not sociable animals. Calling them animals is probably more appropriate because they'll gladly bite you despite looking like people. Like they should be using weapons, if anything.
So will I.
In fact, some of them do use weapons. They just straight up pick up weapons that they find and they just start hitting people. Considering you're in a dwarven fortress, there's probably plenty of axes for them to pick up. That being said, yeah, it's one of those things where you generally want to attack them first before you start negotiations because they'll go for it if they
Yeah.
can. They can.
Yeah, fair enough. They're like, what, are they evil as far as things go? By the way, are troglodytes evil too?
Are troglodytes evil? Troglodytes are, many of them are chaotic evil, but they do understand the importance of not fucking people over that will try to kill you. Like if they get the chance, they'll definitely rob from you, but they're not gonna screw you over for no reason.
Well, I mean, if I was bleeding out and alone, they'd probably just kill me. So
They probably take that chance. Yes, they're probably like, yeah, man, it's a good day.
Well, I'm going to ask this guy if they're planning to attack, because we can put the two and two together and help them. And then split the treasure if they have any.
Okay. Well, he'll tell you something that most people would know, like DG, for example, would know. Grimlocks are extremely good cave-dwelling hunters for one reason. They're kind of dexterous. They're pretty tough. Like, their skin is pretty tough. Natural armor. But, oh no, it's not natural armor. Where does this guy get all of his armor class from? I don't know. It doesn't want to tell me. At least so far as I can now tell. Point is, they're blind. They can't see anything, but they can somehow see everything within 40-ish feet of them. Like a small area around them. They seem perfectly aware. Like, you can be invisible and they know where you are. You could be sneaking around and they still know you're there, which makes them extremely good hunters because they can just sit around the corner and they'll know you're around that corner. Supernatural
so they know
senses.
you're around this corner.
Yeah, they can sort of. There's a limit to how well they can see around a corner specifically, but also they've specifically set up shop exactly outside of the 40 feet range because they're smart enough to do that.
Okay, clever.
They can. Their hearing is perfectly fine beyond 40 feet, by the way.
Okay, that's fair enough. I'm going to ask the rest of the party if they're willing to assist the troglodytes with this. Matthias, Olaf, are you down to kill some blind golems in a cave?
I prefer we assist these troglodytes, even though it's a strange name to call them because that's not what we call them where I'm from.
What do you call them where you're from?
Mongolians.
Well, I guess if you're always on the road, you do stink a bit.
Well, yeah, in a sense.
Goddamn Mongolians.
Goddamn Mongolians. All right, well,
Trying to take over my shitty ruin.
since since we're planning to, pop out and attack them, is it possible for us to delay our turn so we all go one after another, so we can give them a whole ass volley of shots? Oh shit! These guys are already moving out. Holy crap!
No, they're just moving ahead because that makes it easier. It's just setting up the situation as they want it when they want it. So yes.
Holy shit! That's a lot of them.
Yeah, they've kind of been waiting on them to split up or something.
Well, now we don't necessarily need to wait.
So yes. So what were you asking?
I was asking if we all could prepare a turn in such a way that we all go one after another, so we could give them a volley.
Yeah, you can totally either ready an action or delay your turn.
I'd like to ready an action or delay a turn so that we all could make ranged attacks. Well, everyone who can. I think all of.
So a fun thing I learned is that apparently 3.5, an ambush round happens before initiative is even rolled. It just happens. It's great. So yes, you can totally take an ambush round, and then after that, initiative is rolled.
Okay, fair enough. I would like to take an ambush round with all the troglodytes and just chuck our javelins at them.
In order to do that, there is one thing we need to keep track of, and that is that they could technically hear you setting this up. Because at this point, they seem to have been ignoring this ambient whispering that's happening in the background, but the minute it sounds like anything other than some dudes having a little chit-chat, they'll probably be like, what? Cool. Let's see what is the listen score. It's, ooh.
Now, I assume we did it, behind a corner so that when we start moving, maybe they don't necessarily have enough time to react.
Okay. So, let's take a look-see. What's the sound going to be? Probably not that loud. I'm just going to give them one roll and we'll see where that goes. Ooh, they're probably going to pick up on some of that. You know what, Argus? How about you roll me some moves silently? And we'll see if this works out for you or not. I'll be nice.
Well, I don't think I can beat the 21. But
you don't have to.
There's
an undefined circumstance bonus in the background of you being around the corner and being a distance away. Because sound does muffle over time and distance.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
And I'm not wearing any armor, so.
Okay. Let's see. Condition is okay. Well, the ones closest sort of pick up on this, but the rest of them are caught off guard by what suddenly happens. So put yourself where you want to be, and you loosen those shots.
Yeah. Over here, I'm going to chuck a thing, and I'm going to step back, giving Olaf the opportunity to step in, because I'm a little bit out of range, so I'm going to move 10 feet in, and then back out after that.
Don't forget, by the way, that if people can't see, they can't shoot. I think... Oh yeah, Aramis does have dark vision, because he's a... I come from hell! I can see in the dark! Yeah. By the way, that box. I mentioned this in the other game, but I've discovered a way of putting loot cheats on the map. It's great. It makes it so easy to
Oh.
just give you shit.
That's pretty cool.
There.
Just drag and drop like a man.
And if it's
Yeah,
a
I
well-made
see,
box, I can just put
Oh,
it
this
in
went dark again.
Argus, what?
You just made. Why? What are you doing that turns off the light?
I
don't
didn't do
know.
anything. Straight up, I didn't touch anything. My mouse wasn't even on the screen. I was looking at the cleric spell list because I'm reading up on that because it's all new to me. Like I'm seriously on alt tab on the other screen reading up on the game,
What the?
And then it goes again.
and then it goes
So
out
fun.
again. Like I think
So-
something.
This
Is
is so
Wait.
funny.
Wait. Are set using items on this torch. The settings below will be overwritten from actor data. To change this, go to the actor setting page. Oh.
So it's like you're supposed to like double right click.
Give me a moment, Argus. Do not override light. Okay, this should fix it for you.
All right.
Yeah, apparently because you don't have a light source, it's like, no, you don't have a light source. What the hell are you
There
talking
we
about?
go. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Now I can see it. Okay, so I'm gonna move 10 feet in, and I'm gonna chuck my javelin at these idiots. And
Argus-
I'm gonna move back out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. You throw your javelin at whomst.
Yes.
Give me an aim. Give me a throw.
Untruthful Grimlock 6.01. The closest one.
Handsome. Aim and
Oh,
fire.
right, yeah. Hold on. Let me click it so that it counts for that.
Fire at will.
Bam! Oh, gosh darn it!
Well, he hasn't
I'm gonna
acted
step
yet,
back.
so he doesn't have. Even flat-footed doesn't do it.
How much is flat-footed?
Minus
In
dex.
Pathfinder 2 second edition, it's a -2 to armor class, but here it's a specific type of armor class.
Hmm.
Also, Argus, you can't wiggle around. All right. Does
cannot.
anyone else have any range attacks ready? I mean, Aramis
I
does.
do.
I
I got
think
my
I was gonna
longbow.
do
No.
javelins.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna walk up to this little, like, I guess, choke point, slam down my shield, and wait to fight
Cool.
defensively.
Oh,
That's
hell
what you
yes.
do.
I guess I'll shoot that one, the closest one I could see. There we go.
Best of
Get
luck.
to- get-
Oh,
Well, that was
Oh,
one.
what the hell? Click, damn it.
Click, baby, click.
That's so weird. It won't pop up the action attack. Oh, here we go. No, won't even do that either.
Weird.
That's weird.
What is going on?
Hmm. Oh, nothing's worked on mine. Let me refresh real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's
and now we're gonna
probably
roll
it.
for initiative, right?
Yep. Please roll.
There we go. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I roll for. Did you?
I'll take it. I have a good
Alright.
idea on what I can
Alright.
do.
All right, reload it again.
Oh hey, Argus, your rounds first. How's that? Nice as that? But first, you have to resolve this arrow being shot.
Yes.
Flick.
It won't pop up. That's so weird.
Was it working last week?
Oh no, I just set it up. Now it's not working. Like I can click my melee attacks, but my longbow won't pop up.
That's strange. Are you using your summary thingy or something else?
I was using combat.
Try using the summary. Maybe it works from there because it worked for me.
No, my melee still work, but my bow won't pop up the actions.
Is it an actual item that you have equipped?
Yeah, he is it equipped and all, so it's not that.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can make it work. No.
Yeah.
Come on. This is why you have error messages, people. So people know what's wrong.
Yeah, this is weird.
I would personally love it if it's like, well, actually, it's because you have too many you have too many things for your hands.
Maybe you can edit it and there's something like in the
Let's
formulas
try
that isn't
now.
working.
Let's try now. Oh no,
Still doesn't work?
no.
That's weird.
I guess you're just not
That's-
allowed to shoot about.
I guess not. God say no. You gotta fight melee.
No, that's not right.
What is this man to do, Argus?
Click and drag like a random bow and just say that it's masterwork +1.
Actually, I'm really curious what's going on.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Like I said, it's possible that this is doing something weird in the background, but I wouldn't know what it is. Actually, I think I can quickly finagle something together because I know that these guys also have a cool bow. Boop boop comparing to longbows. Okay, so the masterwork, they're masterworks. It's not that it's not like there's an internal fault with the lot. Yeah, I don't know what's up. We got something weird to think about later, I guess.
You could just roll, 1d20 plus dex or something.
He can roll his range damage, yes, and see where that goes. And if it's a masterwork weapon, at 1.
Is it /r space? Never mind. You just did. Yeah, I saw something.
You saw an 18, but it should have been a 19 if we're gonna go over that one. So go ahead, 19. Roll me some damage, which I think is 1d8 plus your strength, which is maximum of 1. So.
Matthias, you should have full hit points, by the way, because you just naturally would heal to max.
Oh.
Yep.
There we go.
Because I'm still seeing, like, I'm hovering over your thingy, and it's, like, not full.
7.
So this guy, right?
Yep.
You can tell that did a lot to him. I mean, they're medium sized, like they're people, but they're hunched over, and the impact gets them in a way. Argus, it's your turn. What do you do? The creatures begin to let out a call, like they're like.
Yes. I'm gonna ask Terminus to lend me their power.
Terminus says, "Yeah, sure, whatever, kid. See ya."
Yes.
Listen, I didn't become a god, so I had to help all you weenies out.
Oh.
And my head starts spinning. Whoa!
Yes.
Blease! Oh, that's what you're doing. Nice!
Yes, I'm gonna subtract it from my spell list. There we go. I don't have a lot of those, but,
Actually, Argus, if you push the button to cast a spell, I think it automatically removes it. Yeah, it automatically removes the charge. Just give it some time, man. Yeah. Anyway, everyone in the local area gets blessed. You feel empowered to do greater deeds than ever before.
Also, Terminus talked to me. It's so cool. What? I read about the guy in the book.
There's a dude under him. Get out of here, dude. What? What? Why were there like several?
Wait, hold on.
Why are there so many people under other people?
They're stacked.
How did this happen?
No,
I know
you
what it
rolled
is.
twice. No, you rolled twice for the things.
No, there were like
Unlock
legitimately
has,
way more tokens than there should have been. Weird. I'm sad now. This creature. Ooh, they only have the axe. Cool. He's just gonna charge in then. The reckless abandon. He sees Metal Man and fears little of him. Actually, would he see you? I mean, you probably hear the noise of all these people hanging out.
He definitely heard me slam down my shield. So.
Well, let's see if that shield can hold up to his mighty axe.
Yes, it can.
The loud ringing noise causes all of them to startle for a moment. This one is smart. And so it does that thing that robots do where they're like, maybe if I walk around. He's going to move a little bit. Just a little bit. Move it nice and careful, keeping his guard up. Being attacked. Olaf! One of them delivered himself to your doorstep. Will you honor his request or stay sturdy?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I'm just going to stay sturdy. I feel like that's what you would do at this point.
Fucking stacked.
You're not getting past me, weird looking thing.
This troglodyte jumps out and throws one of his javelins, doing an entire point of damage. Matthias.
Yay. All right, Olaf, you got this one. I'm going to aim that one.
He's so hurt. Ow! He's so hurt. Go ahead and give me the goods.
All right.
Oof, oof. That's a crit, by the way.
Huh.
You could roll again to confirm. Okay. You can roll me the damage if you want to, but he's dead.
Sure.
Or at least unconscious at the very least, because that's a triple multiplier, minimum 6 damage. He's unconscious now. Oh, I forgot things can. Oh, no, that's straight up dead, my good sir. That's straight up dead. Call that one right between the eyes. Ooh.
Supposed to be a dual wielding samurai, but I do quite well as an archer.
Well, samurai were mostly archers, really.
I know it's the humorous fact of the build. You're a
Hmm.
dual wielder, but just killing things easier, just shooting.
Immunities. Oh, yeah, they're immune to visual things because they can't see. This creature runs forward and lets out a loud cry. Then it senses something is up ahead, a big wall, and so it reverts to its natural urges to climb the walls. Climb DC's 20. Okay, cool. Neat. The troglodytes move out and form up a firing line. They'll kill a Morlock eventually. Just you wait and see, gang.
Holy shit.
Like I said, these guys are pretty tough, so it's still standing. The last boastful one stands up, sees the numbers, feels a slight moment of hesitation at the worrisome situation that it's got itself into. Are these guys actually going to deliver? And that hesitation costs him the shot.
Ah.
This creature hears plinking of blows. And let's see, he's unpredictable. He's excited. He's fast. And suddenly just charges into them.
Holy crap.
He lets out a noise that sounds like talking. Do these guys speak? Let's see. Languages. Not specified as knowing a language. How funky. Although, oh, they speak Grimlock. Whatever that is, it sure doesn't sound pleasant to the ears. His battle axe hoisted high, he delivers a charging strike. Bam!
Ooh.
The troglodyte has left his guard down just a second too long and is charged into with firm force. Back here, this one got hit, so he mostly just scoots around to try to hide from wherever you got shot from. DG, I'm not going to have DG do anything too rash, but they are going to send their dog to attack that mean man who attacked that friend. Get him, pup! With a charge. Ooh. Chomp, 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 chomp. And, of course, the free trip attempt. Oof. Oof. Goes to the ground. Teacher herself will take a look and stock of the situation. Armus. It's going to reload, take aim, and fire at whoever's nearby. I've got a crossbow bolt for thee. Poor guy. Poor guy. Loud screeching continues. They sound like monkeys. Charge! Argus. The Targalites formed up a line, thinking that with your help this would be fine. But two of the more Grimlocks have already charged into them and dealt significant damage.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna try to help them. This one is knocked over, right? There's some
Yes.
kind of icon on him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can knock prone because the dog pulled at his leg and pulled him down.
Right. I'm going to try and capitalize on that. I'm gonna use my long spear over the dog to just stab at him.
Get him while his guts are facing up.
Fuck.
Let's have a look. See, he is prune. That gives you a plus. Okay, that becomes 12. I don't think there's any other penalties for that, unless you charge.
Good charge. Yeah, let's charge.
He's charged. He's
I'm rushing
prone.
forward, so that would make sense.
Oh wait, yes, he charged too, so you actually get a +2 on top of that. Okay, cool. So we're
So
gonna
I
make
don't
that.
need-
So I think because of everything, you hit him real good.
Holy shit.
You. It's a series of circumstances. So as the dog pulls him under, your spear scrapes him across the shoulder, and the pain and shock causes him to fall unconscious.
Oh, we knocked them off. Thank God. I thought I didn't even know how many hit points they would have. Jesus.
Nice.
11 from that, and then 7 from the dog. So they have at least 18. Holy shit. That's almost as much as I do.
What do you mean? Listen, in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the way the sheets handle it is that it will trim every damage that goes below 0. So if I do 10 damage to something that has 8 hit points, it shows you only -8.
Oh,
You can have negative hit points here. So yes, he went to -7, but you know he doesn't have 18 hit points. You can't
Yeah.
count it like that.
fair enough.
Unlike in 2E, where the damage numbers are very obvious, and it's very, very fucking obvious when I cheat things because I'm not interested in having something with 1 HP run around for 10 turns.
How Chocolate is doing, by the way, because they got slashed pretty
They're
badly.
standing, but you can tell that charge got like those axes can do a lot of damage.
Mhm.
What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm using a battle axe. That's what I'm doing. I'm a little Morlock. I'm a little angry creature. This angry person is showing up. Well, you can get the fuck out of here, man. It wants to climb. No, it's not gonna climb on the wall. It's already got a target. It's already like.
I said you're not getting past me.
Why does it say that all of these Grimlocks are prone? I don't know why. I guess it just thinks that's funny.
I've seen a silly video recently, by the way, Olaf, that remind me of Gandalf from Lord of the Rings saying, "You shall not pass," and then Balrog just
Hey,
Ar-
there's
just
the
says,
Gala.
Argus, you get an attack of opportunity as this creature charges in recklessly, unaware of your placement, but very much aware that your dog's about to. I see someone just showed up to watch their dog get killed.
"Damn it!
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
What the hell? I
Yep.
used up all the good rolls apparently
Oh,
last time,
natural one.
and I missed.
Natural
Oh,
one.
I deflected them well
Grimlock
enough.
missed too. Don't worry, the Grimlock missed that rolled in that one.
Yeah.
Hello, Digala.
Hello. Our
Sorry I'm late.
trees,
Good.
man, the trees.
That's okay, Digi. We didn't get you killed, so that's good. Now,
Oh, thank God.
now you can handle that yourself.
Olaf.
By the way, all
Logging in.
those lizard guys
DD.
are on our side, just so you know.
What happened?
You made friends.
We
Are we in the mountains?
we
We're
made
the-
friends with the
we're
troglodytes.
friends with
and we're-
troglodytes now. You should be proud that Argus talked before attacking
Glory.
and made friends with Argus.
I'm lawful. I always try to talk to things.
A chair.
Seeing that one of them is attempting to climb over the other one, I realize summoning my shield down won't help me if it gets behind me. So instead, I will attack the one in front of me.
Oh, you're gonna attack, or you're gonna do 4 points of damage. You swing and it strains to keep its distance from your mighty weapon.
Does that hit?
Yeah, does damage.
Minimum damage, but I'll take it.
Troglodyte watches as their friend is hurt. Well, he's smart enough to not try to get himself to too much trouble, so it moves over here and then tries to get this guy to the north with a club.
It
Mm?
disappeared under the token on my end.
Yeah. Everyone always disappears in everyone else's tokens. It's never the other way around. Which is weird because to me, it usually defaults to things going over things.
I think it's because
Okay,
if you
I-
drag it all over yourself, so your active token is gonna be-
Argus, I don't need a full explanation every time.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
I know, but he does what Argus does and loses his shit. But unfortunately, the Morlock's thick skin bears the marks without any true blood being drawn. Matthias.
Sick.
New target. That little click on it, little fold right there. All right.
Can you imagine
Let's do
playing a
that.
Morlock? Because there's a Grimlock's character. Why do I keep calling them Morlocks? Because I once ran a Pathfinder game where there were Morlocks underground. Anyway, that hits them.
All I know is that they're supposed to be a fucking meme
They're stinky.
and overpowered. Yeah. Well, I mean, so is Olaf after marching in armor.
I
Under
would
the
smell
sun.
like this.
No, what? This one with the skull. He's dead, Jim.
Did it die? Yes.
Yay.
What an amazing shot. This guy is going to try and climb it over the wall. It seems quite familiar with these cavern walls and moves across them with uncanny speed. Actually, it doesn't. It tries to find purchase upon the walls, but it's too slippery and mossy. And after all, dwarven craftsmanship is not so easily clambered upon. Or something, I don't know. I'm not a dwarf. This one's a bit more reasonable about his approach and just takes out a club. Tries to hit the Morlock right in the noggin. Doesn't do it though.
Right in the tush.
Right, got any more than that? This one is a little more cautious because he's really low. So he steps back and he withdraws and moves away a bit to get some distance.
Smart.
Sometimes, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be smart. The untruthful warlock, a deceptive little figure, tries to jump on top of Paparino. Whoop. Also, Argus, I am so sorry that one time I forgot to ask if you had any opinions about making hero points against saving throws. Just saying.
I will make a saving throw. What do I need to roll?
No, I meant the other game that we had earlier today, where you after the fact went like, hey, I want to split the hero point and not fucking.
Oh yeah, no. The issue with that, you kind of just stepped over that and kind of forgot. So I had to like wait until there was a pause in the conversation to bring it up.
Beep boop. Beep boop. DG. People are trying to hurt your dog.
I can't remember where I find the AC.
On
Oh,
base.
okay, AC 19. No, it doesn't hit.
I'm taking care of that, yeah. So what do you want to do? It's your turn now. These creatures, by the way, are called Grimlocks. To the best of what you recall, they are unpleasant individuals of the underground.
Ooh, are they wearing heat? Are they wearing metal?
No. They're
No,
using scavenge
naked.
battle axes, but you can't imagine that anything dwarven found in this place would fit them.
Damn. Okay. Is anyone injured?
Not us. One of the troglodytes, or a couple of them are, but that's okay. We can heal them later. Oh, by the way, I would save your healing spells for later because we found an undead earlier.
Yeah.
At least one.
We know that there's one medium aura undead running around the other side of this dungeon.
Moderate aura undead. What a way to describe that
Moderate.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Can
I
I
saw it through a
summon-
keyhole, and it looked at me. It was unpleasant.
Oh god. Can I summon Nature's Ally extended to second level so it's like here for I think 4 rounds, right? Or how many rounds?
So yeah, your third level, I think extend is double.
Yeah.
That it would be 6 rounds.
Hold on, I'm gonna open up the window because it's too stuffy in here.
But are you sure that the situation demands you to spend a second
Yeah, I
level
was
slot
gonna
like
say,
that?
you know, 3 of the enemies are already dead.
Yeah, like this is going
Shit.
pretty good.
Oh, we
Yeah.
also might have forgotten that I actually cast Bless on everyone.
Eh. Oh, in that case, that troglodyte does get to apply his damage with the club.
Okay,
No.
then can I just
He's blessed.
sling? I'm just gonna like use bare minimum
Plus is a
things.
+1, yeah.
I'm gonna just sling it at this dude. Sling!
That's a troglodyte. They're on our side.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
The-
Are we
yeah.
shooting?
This one.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Luckily, I
like
follow
that.
the rule of sanity. Your character does not start attacking people because of
Yeah.
misinformation like that. Cool. Well, your dog can still take an action.
Your character
He's very much
has
aware.
been here the whole time. You haven't been here.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna try to
Chomp.
attack.
Your pup turns, or your pup get. Ooh, that's a firm bite to the
Nice.
tuchus.
Oh, this guy or this guy?
Well,
I'd suggest taking
it's
the
either
upper one
one.
because I want to take the lowest one.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want this guy, then it's this guy.
Yes.
Well, in that case, he goes unconscious because he doesn't have enough hit points to stay conscious at this point.
Yeah, also it was like his turn right next, so I thought. Hermes
Well-
crossbow, you're blessed.
Yeah, listen, he's shooting into melee at this point. So it's like, come on, man. What want me to do? What want me to do? Well, I can shoot at this guy in the back, I guess. He can sort of see him. It's not a good sighting. Listen, at some point, I'm gonna learn how to use this crossbow. It's gonna be great. You're gonna see that I need to brush up on my touch attacks.
Learned how to use this crossbow, all right.
Jesus.
He's new to it. It's fine.
Ooh, the creature has a nice big bolt stuck in his arm now. Oof. Argus.
Yeah, since this thing leaped right at me, I'm gonna drop my long spear. I'm just gonna do a full attack.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be one of this. That's gonna be one of this,
There you
Wait,
go.
who are you attacking?
and it's gonna be this one. He might be underneath like the corpse for you.
Oh yeah.
So the guy right
there
next
he
to me. This one, yeah.
The creature howls as I think your claw leaves a distinct red mark on it.
Mm.
However, it's still quite sturdy. This thing, again. Olaf, you're so annoying. It gets frustrated at this odd obstacle that's in the way. So it's going to do something kind of interesting. It's going to try to trip you, which means you can attack for opportunity. It it suddenly does something weird, and you're not sure why.
Tries to grab you by the
What
leggies.
the hell you trying to do? You can't grab my leg.
So yes, you get an attack of opportunity. Oh wait, no. First make an okay. He gets to make a touch attack. Oh wow, you hit him. Nice. Not enough to take him out though, so he still gets to make this one. If your tank succeeds, makes okay. First off, he has to make a touch attack. I know where your touch AC is, by the way. Let's see. It's 11. He makes it. Cool. A post strength check or dexterity, or you can pick dexterity or strength, whichever one you want. He'll go with strength.
He's got like 19 strength, I think.
Standard strength check.
Yes.
Okey-doke.
None special here. Ooh, 21 because you get your bonuses. This Morlock's
Nice.
not familiar with dwarves. If he was, he probably wouldn't have been trying to do that. If you want to, you can immediately make an opposed strength check against him, aka anti-trip him. But it's up to you.
No. I'll just let him stand and bang on my shield. for a while.
He's still bapping. He's bapping. He's dropped his battle axe, and now this creature has submitted to his primal frustrations.
Keep doing 4 damage. Why do I keep rolling ones on damage?
Well, you know, it's all you need to make him calm down a little bit. It's all you need to calm him down. Okay, who's next on the list? It's Olaf, who's already gone. This is this guy. This guy's turn. Still invigorated by the circumstances, he sees another Morlock. He still wants to get a big bite. Just take a big bite out of one of these guys. Chomp. Ugh. Why is there a club in there? Oh, I guess he's using his club in that case. Okay, fine. Fine. You can be a mixed attacker. There's only one Morlock left. Grimlock. God! Why? They both end with lock, alright? Listen.
It's fine.
Matthias.
Safi. At least you're not saying warlock. Wink.
Matthias
Oh,
Locke,
that guy's
you're
still
up.
here.
What?
Oh,
No, that guy's dead. I think he just died. Or
this
he's
one's
dying.
dead. All right. Oh, he's dying. All right. All right. I need to move a little bit to hit this dude, but I will shoot him. Just take my 5-foot step. There we go. Now I'll shoot.
Even with the fact that
And-
there's significant cover from the walls that have crumbled in the way, you can hit him just fine. Go ahead and roll me damage. Show me the beans.
Crap.
Consistent sevens. I love it.
Hey, if you get the job done. That's it.
Yeah.
The sounds of combat dim down a bit, coming less and less, until eventually, once the troglodytes have taken stock of the situation, find themselves victorious. They're excited and elated about the circumstances, and your GM has to pull out the necessary area to figure out what kind of experience points to give out.
Can I try to
attack.
roll
Time
healing
to
for
get
the guy who
paid.
got chewed up?
Sure, you can give you a little bit of a heal pat.
Yeah, let's see if I can help that.
Shh, put a big bandage on it.
Hmm.
It's not so good.
I guess the gash is a little.
Who are you healing?
Top left, but we might need the actual healing spells. So if you
No,
could help me.
don't worry about them. They'll be fine. They don't plan to do much else today, so they'll get their rest by the time it becomes relevant. They're trying to be dismissive about this, you know, like we're tough. We can handle ourselves. Not show too much weakness to these strangers.
How do I open this fancy treasure chest?
You don't. I throw it into your loot pile.
Also, you need some light. 'Cause you're just stumbling in
you
the dark.
you find.
I'm a dwarf. I've got dark vision. The dark don't bother me.
Oh right, yeah. Also, Safi, could you move one of the corpses? I need to unclick it. It's bothering me.
I'm gonna forcibly cast Cure Minor Wounds on the top left. I'm gonna be like, you need this more than I do, and you definitely need more healing.
So you cast a spell and angrily charge this man with insistence that he needs to let you touch him. That sounds like
Please don't.
combat to me.
Oh,
Just
shit.
like, come
Does
on,
sound
man.
like combat.
Never mind. I get the vibe. that
You
does
start
not
the
need
spell,
it.
but realize, you know, this kind of looks like I'm trying to shocking grasp him.
Oh shit! Never mind. Sorry.
The downside of magic not being ubiquitous is people don't fully understand it. Where is the party loot sheet? Also, get out of here, Faith. I don't want you anymore.
What is
It's
in the
card.
middle? Is that like a wall or
Oh, yeah, it's
something?
called cart.
Uh,
Sorry.
Oh, just to bring you up to speed to this place, it is a dwarven ruin, but this whole ruin, imagine like it's collapsing into a single point, so all the rooms and corridors are all messed up and scrunched. And we found a dwarven corpse close to the surface, whose bones were like all screwed up and bent and
Oh
like into weird shapes.
shit.
Okay, I'm just to, not forget, I'm gonna go pick up my spear and I'm gonna go pick up my
So
javelin.
what's in this box is about 400 gold pieces. That's neat.
Oh, oh my god.
Wait,
There's 3 potion bottles and a bunch of bundles like. Imagine some scrap cloth used to bind together what seems to be food supplements, like mushrooms of certain types, some meat that they got.
Right.
Okay,
So,
makes sense.
the creatures you're with, once they have some time to themselves, will try to confiscate primarily the food. That's mostly what they're interested in. They
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know what
no.
the hell those potions are about, and the glittery metal stuff's like, who cares? We still have a big bag of that.
Mhm. Yeah, they're absolutely welcome to the food if they think this is, well, edible.
So how many Morlocks were there? Grimlocks! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Warlock Safi.
We'll say 8 because you did help these. Oh yeah, I need to give you points because you technically befriended the troglodytes, which means you technically resolved their situation peacefully. So you get half
Oh yeah.
marks for them.
For the sake of
Yay.
reference, Digi, Argus bribed them with food,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
and they gave us like 400 silver pieces in exchange for it because they don't really
Yes.
care about money.
So 16 CR3. Chimney Christmas.
So how much money did we each get?
Finding out.
Well, first,
Okay.
well, there was 400 in the pile, which I put in the cart. So there's 400 gold pieces extra in the cart now. As for how much experience everyone gets 800. You get educative experience so far.
800.
Alright.
So we're at 4220.
It
Oh wait,
is-
no,
I-
excuse me.
Oh.
I'm stupid. I miscalculated that. You get half points for befriending someone, unless they're like permanent super best buds ever forever. Ah, you are. You help them out. They're probably like, yeah, we're not gonna bother
Oh,
you. You're fine.
why aren't you taking your experience levels correctly? Because we were at 3920 the start of this session. So if we're getting 800, we're a lot higher than 4220.
What the hell?
4720.
4720.
You might have forgotten
47.
to add something before.
What the hell?
Well, I'm at 7580, I think.
So now we're at 4520.
Well, we're at 4720. But if
4720.
you're you're responsible for this, because eventually at some point I'm gonna stop reminding you.
I write down everything. I don't know what's up. What the hell?
Aramis, you also need to keep track of your experience points. Thank you. I want to be a level up boy too.
Mhm.
Wee.
Wait, did the party level up actually?
No.
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 Another 1,280 to level up.
Oh, we were at 390.20 at the start of this, right? Got it.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I have in my notes. And then we just added 800.
Math is
Got it.
tough.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, now it's all adding up.
Yeah, because
I swear-
I'm like
I swear-
42. What?
I swear I'm not a fuck up. I swear.
Mm,
Okay, I added it. It's good.
Argus, the friendly folk you're with wish you the best,
Mm-hmm.
and say that you're always
I
welcome
don't.
to come on by and share some food.
That would be awesome.
They'll take their leave, however. They've recovered what they wanted to and taught those Grimlocks a little lesson. So
Mhm.
they're down here. See ya.
Fair enough. Goodbye.
Also, if you ever need any help with anything and they can help, they're there. They'll be glad to lend you a hand a little bit. Not too
Yeah,
much.
I mean,
tomorrow.
we've made friends. We can bribe them with food. If we run into some super duper big enemy, we can just come here and say, "Hey guys, we have like 100 rations. You're welcome to it if you help us kill this guy."
Now that you have some time to examine the room, you notice that there's indeed a large object that occupies the center of the room. Close examination reveals that it appears to be some sort of stalagmite that has sort of partially molten. It's solid now, but it looks like at some point it got molten down a little bit around the edges. There's
That's
also
weird.
several doors leaving this place.
Hmm.
Oh, now
Well-
I know what a stalagmite is.
All right. Well, Olaf, do you recognize any of this? Maybe you know the direction we're like to the center of this, or
This whole place has been fucked up. I
Mm.
mean,
Wanna try this door?
sure.
Like unless Olaf grew up here, I don't think he's going to be able to give you much in terms of
Yeah.
directions.
Well, I mean, if it's all built to a specific design.
No, this is ancient style. We in the holds. I mean, like this is thousands of years old.
Aren't you that old?
What?
No, it's a joke.
70.
It's a old joke, you know.
I'm only in my 70s. Goddammit.
Isn't that old, or is that like
No, that
young?
is not old for a dwarf. Just live into like late 300s.
Argus, you move into the room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You are immediately beset upon by 1,000 mimics. Nah, I'm just kidding. This room
I
is.
mean, and I would smooch every single one of them. You know that.
They got lots of teeth, so be careful. This room,
Me too.
Argus, this room is filled with debris. The ceiling is regular, but seems to be holding together. There are several ways out of here, to the best your eyes can see. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. But it's a very irregular room with lots of things jutting out. Much of this area is difficult to terrain effectively. Additionally, if someone wanted to hide in this, they could very easily could.
Yeah. Olaf, would you take the charge?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna be right behind you. Let's go along the perimeter of the room and try to see if there's something in those alcoves.
I see a door.
Yep. Let's take a look-see at some things I got in my pocket. It's a magic pocket.
Uh-oh, there's some.
Because it's not a rust monster, I'm okay with it.
I mean, I have claws. I don't care about rust.
Well, you're next to a door. If you want to open that door, you can. Give it a go.
All right, let's assume the position. Olaf, where are you going?
He's running back and forth.
Olaf was testing his memory if he thought that went back to the last room or not.
Oh, it was already open. Jesus.
Gigi, your dog, within the light you have, starts to scratch at his ears and whimper a bit.
Okay, I'm guiding him to the light.
Is there some like high pitched or low pitched sound that we can't hear?
Dog isn't hearing is supposedly more sensitive than hearing.
Hmm. Yeah. Do I see anything in this particular room, by the way?
Go ahead and room some spot.
Spot,
Or search
okay.
if you want to overturn it.
Is there
Excuse
no
me, what?
torches?
Well, it's a spot check if you just want to look around. If you want to actually like turn things over and take a look, that's searching.
No, I don't want to make noise. I just want to take a quick look and then move and see maybe the dog is looking like it's something so that we could maybe pinpoint what it's reacting. Maybe there is a ghost, you know?
So let me just give you a nice helpful hint.
Mhm.
You take a look around, and then you're pretty sure you saw one of the hanging pieces of debris on the ceiling move a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna immediately tap.
I'm not talking
Olaf.
like it looks like it's collapsing. I mean like it's shuffled a bit.
Well, my reaction would still be the same. I'm gonna tap Olaf and Matthias on the shoulder. I'm gonna point at the thing, and I'm gonna to the tiefling and the dog and the DG, and point at the thing so that they can all stare and maybe try their spot checks. From what
Are
the
you
heck
pointing
that is.
here?
Well, the DM can show me where I noticed something. I guess, like, I don't know, here maybe. I don't know.
Argus.
Yeah.
As you pointed out and create a bit of a stir,
Yeah.
you suddenly find that your light source is incapable of keeping the place alight. An unnatural
Oh?
darkness begins to swallow up the light.
Oh Jesus
Oh,
fucking
God.
Christ!
Something is casting darkness. If you want a very technical definition of what happens.
Can I? Does it have? I don't remember if it has a verbal component. Can we hear what's casting that?
How about you worry about whether or not things are necessarily casting spells in the way you are? Because some creatures are capable of manifesting magical effects
Yeah.
without necessarily saying words and waving their hands around.
Damn it! That's a trap.
Yes. Would you like to roll initiative?
Yes, I would.
Shit.
Oh my god, I keep missing the thing because everybody moves. Well, I guess I spent too much time pointing shit out.
Get off of there, pup. Olaf. Argus becomes swallowed by the darkness. I'm going to actually look up exactly how big this darkness
is-
is.
Whoa,
Is
that
it-
rhymed.
So is it magical darkness?
To be specific, if you saw something above you stir and then suddenly an object nearby boom, sort of like ballooning out this darkness. Like the light of the torch slowly became consumed by it, and in less than a minute, it just whoop. Let's see, it's 20-foot radius. And since it's a little bit up, it's not that, it doesn't consume all that much. Let me just turn it up. Beep, bop, boop.
From
Aye.
what I oh shit.
Is
From
it-
what I can recall, ghosts. How to defeat ghosts or any darkness is by casting light, by casting like healing words at it.
What?
Did I get that right?
No.
From our
Why do you think it's a
Oh
ghost?
god.
Positive
Olaf.
energy might hurt undead, but I don't think you need like.
It's Olaf's turn. Would you all please have your discussions when
Uh-huh.
your time is there?
Sorry.
So is this magical darkness?
Definitely.
Okay, so I
Uh,
can do shit.
Actually, I recall that Dark Vision is actually okay with this,
Yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah.
which is a very funny thing that I discovered when I was playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and I thought that darkness indeed creates this globe of darkness, but no,
No,
they can
That's
just see
great,
through.
That's five. That's fifth ed. Fifth ed, it creates a globe of darkness.
And in Pathfinder
Hmm.
2e, it's even weirder and sillier. But would you like to do something, Olaf? As
Yeah.
your friends suddenly get nervous, and you notice that the shadows of the light you're near are like vanishing.
I ain't afraid of the dark. Where the hell are you, creature?
Did you go into the small room?
Yeah, of course I did.
Why?
Well, the small room
Isn't that
is
the creature, wasn't that where the creature was?
no. The small room when you looked into it was mostly empty. It was this crushed hallway that was like a straight triangle into the ground. So you can take your turn as you want to, but whatever it is, Argus noticed that something was inside the main room itself. I thought he was asking about the main room, not the.
Oh, I thought he was implying the door he opened. Okay, so I don't do that.
I thought there was something in the room with us because you said like it's over us. So I like turned around, like tapped both of you on the shoulders, and I pointed like upwards. So it's something
guess-
like maybe like somewhere here. I don't know.
On my turn, I will look for it then.
Roll me some
Can
spot
you?
as you examine the room. If anyone
Alright,
else
yeah,
here,
we should go.
if someone could see you despite not having dark vision, whatever. It's weird. No, whatever it is, it's hiding pretty good up there or
You know
down
what?
here.
Don't see it.
God damn it!
I need to look.
Then I'll
Mhm.
run out to the middle of the room to be prepared to wherever it happens and slam down my shield
Oh my goodness.
defensively.
okay. Time to apply the fly rules. So for those of
Fly.
you who don't know, technically speaking, 3.5 is a fucking chart for how creatures can fly, and it's great.
There, you need like some sort of like balance checks or something of the sort. I'm not sure.
No. It has a chart that tells you the angles and corners a flying creature can take. So, for example, if you have an average flying maneuverability, you can't hover in place. And if you have a good, perfect one, you can reverse freely. You don't even need to spend extra movement to do that. But these creatures are stationary. I need to see what they can do. Okay, well, there's nothing here that's too particularly important or exciting for me, since they're mostly just going to do a swoop. Suddenly, you become very much aware of the fact that there's something above you, and it flies directly at you and tries to latch onto your face, wrapping itself around you like a dark cloak. Here we go. Let me get. Oh no, wait. Yeah, it's a stalagmite that looks like a large sheet, really.
What the heck is that?
Well, the token I took was the one I could find. I forgot that I could just take this art and use it. But here's something.
Some of the rock creatures attacking me.
Here's something slightly more representative.
Some sort of squid-like tentacled rock creatures attacking me.
Oh, it's like those. Oh gosh, I keep forgetting the name.
A mess.
Luckily, Olaf is very good at keeping himself safe and secure.
Hmm.
Matthias, right
Get
now
out of this.
there is no light anywhere because
Alright.
Argus's light source is in the dark bubble as well.
Oh shit.
Does it counter it in any way?
No, it will still work if you pull it outside. Like, that's not how darkness spells work in this.
And that's 3.5.
So essentially, it doesn't matter. Even if I leave, I still can't see anything.
Yeah, even if you get outside, like you're gonna have to wait for Argus to fix this problem.
You have a torch or anything that you can light?
I do have a lantern.
Or you can always
Sure,
delay your turn until after Argus.
Yeah, I'll delay.
Argus,
I'll
please
delay.
fix this mess. Matthias is like, Argus, light a new torch or something. I don't know.
Fair enough. I assume I still have my hand on his shoulder, and I heard Olof just stomping somewhere forward with like malicious intent. So what I'm gonna do is, can I like drag him with me forward, with like the sun rod in my hand, just outstretched?
If you think that's gonna help, sure, you're allowed to do that when your turn comes. But your turn doesn't come quite yet.
Oh,
This large
fuck,
creature
yeah.
sees a man temporarily stop and try to take in his environment, and he takes that as an excuse to swoop in and get a
Oh my
meal.
God, how many of these are here?
Quite a few, actually.
Oh my God, there's
We're
probably like 50
dead.
of them. We're so fucked. Holy shit.
Matthias's armor class is not like your dwarf friend. Fuck it all. So, Matthias,
Are you? Damn.
you are large or smaller. You can attempt a grapple attempt as for free. It just gets to make one.
Oh no.
Oh no! How terrifying! How horrible! Grapple.
Yes.
I swear to fucking God, if I run out of this bubble and there's like just Matthias's hand in my hand and like the rest of Matthias is gone,
Oh,
I'd be
hell
so
no.
upset. Oh.
Hold. Make it a post grapple. Really, this thing is a grapple of nothing. Okay, cool. Making a post. You get to make a grapple too, Mr. Matthias. You try to worm it off of you.
Alrighty then. Where's my thing for?
On the bright
Here we
side,
go.
though, at least we know.
Yeah, fools.
At least we
Argus.
know that the dog now can react to things like that. This is neat.
Arc.
All right, yeah. So I'm just gonna grab the dude and I'm gonna just drag him out with the thing outstretched until. Well, I'm gonna use all my movement, so that's gonna be up to here. Or, yeah, like that. Or until the darkness actually subsides.
The light returns.
Oh heck yes.
Matthias,
Alright,
you waited
well.
for this moment. And you're right next to one of these dudes that's trying to grab on Olaf.
Yeah. Now you're gonna get hacked. Now I can dual wield and beat you down, hopefully. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if this works. Nope, nope. Everything should be normal. And
We didn't start
there's
the
the.
fire.
Oh, that's terrible, but I rolled so good on that one. What about the other one?
Nice.
Okay, that hit. That's something.
It's almost like you're a rogue and you're doing feints.
Yeah, like we literally have a guy who has a 2E maneuver that's just like you attack once and the second one gets flat-footed because you throw him off. I'm special. I'm so special. The first swing misses, but the second one manages to get this large. You don't know if that hurts, but you definitely put a big enough cut in it that its flying ability is significantly impeded.
Hell yeah.
Do I get to do anything, or have I basically used all?
You've
of my
used all of your movement to double move
yeah,
and get there.
Action was dragging them.
Fair enough.
Argus,
Yeah.
one of them thinks that you look tasty. Take a compliment, will ya?
Would I get an opportunity attack for this or no? Oh, only if they charge, I think, right?
Only if you're screwed.
If you have your spear out, then probably. But you have
I
you
don't.
dragged
I
your
have the
friend,
sunrod.
and you had a sunrod in your other hand. So, excuse
Can
me
I
for
bonk it with a sunrod?
if you really
Put the
wanted to.
sunrod on the floor like a flare charge.
Well, yeah, I will drop it because I need my weapons out, which are my fucking claws and teeth. I'm gonna tear
This
this
is the-
fucking umbrella to shreds. Like I swear
Oh
to
my
God.
god.
Damn, look at all these fools.
One of them practically,
This could be
one of
that
them practically lands its large sheet-like body over DG's head.
Yeah.
It's a long part of its muscles just starts tensing as it wants to suck your head up and just squeeze it out for blood.
Ew.
Or something that doesn't sound quite as gross. I don't know. We'll roll with whatever this guy puts in the script suggestion box. Man, they're rolling pretty good at these rolls, huh?
Shit.
That does hit.
6.
You take the ouchies. You feel
Thing
that.
is, none of these attacks would have hit me. So
I like that part. Can you please roll me your grapple? You have a 1 in that. It's on your combat tab. Although I don't know if it's at summary. It's also That's a non-summary. How weird. Yeah. Just normally gripple.
Gripu. You said combat?
Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
I honestly
Shit.
feel. Yes, it's currently grabbing onto you, which is to be specific. To be specific, it's holding onto your head, and it's kind of hard to breathe.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
picturing like a beak inside that's like trying to chomp down on your head.
It's honestly quite the spectacle. Finally, one more actually peels itself loose at the ceiling and tries to go for your spellcaster.
Oh my god, he's so gonna die. Holy shit.
I told you to stay out of the room. What's the matter with you?
Oh, that shouldn't actually hit him, I hope.
He has a flat-footed
Hope
AC.
we've got high.
He has a flat-footed AC of 11.
But he can see in the dark.
Yeah, but he's flat-footed because he hasn't acted yet. If he wasn't, he would have been fine. He goes to 0, which in Pathfinder 2E. Oh, it says it misses. Oh, yeah, because it's not using his flat-footed AC. Here we go. Ah, I'm down. I'm disabled.
Wait, he
what the
should have
fuck?
9.
He has 8 hit points, so he's like struggling at this point.
Oh gosh.
Oh, cool. Well, on the plus side, he doesn't get constricted. DG, your dog better bite that thing off of you, or it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, you better, Thetis.
I'm gonna say that it's technically on top of you. It's always flanking, so. Ooh, these things have quite some armor class, don't they? Oof, oof, oof.
And I can't use it like a skill to get out another grapple check.
Well, you can totally just attempt a grapple check again, try and tear it off.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or I can't cast a spell, right? Because he's on my head.
I think you have to make a concentration check in that case. That's what concentration's for, isn't it? Right? It's just to concentrate
Yeah.
while you're being very distracted by someone trying to strangle you.
I'm good at concentration.
Let's take a
Can I
look.
try to do that?
Last word.
It's DC 20.
Ugh,
You can
okay,
cast
never mind.
spells only without somatic components for which you have any required material components on hand. So, probably not.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do grapple.
You try to peel yourself free, and I'll say that you succeed since you're the initiator. It goes to you. The creature slides off of you before it manages to really bite down on you. Aramis is really hurting. He doesn't like that.
Can I? Oh fuck, I can't heal. Okay, never mind.
He's going to sort of slump away if that's all right with everyone. Slump, slump. Effectively, he takes one action, which is to withdraw. Olaf, get cutting.
I keep forgetting because there's so many systems that I participate in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Does this? Holy shit! Does 3.5 have flanking?
Holy.
Yeah.
Hey Argus, if you click an attack, what's one of the options you can pick?
Hold on.
That's why Olaf did what he did.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Because I'm a dummy. Oh yeah, it does say flanking. Fair enough.
It's a pretty nice bonus too, a +2.
Oh my god. Don't try me, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Titus.
That's grabbing onto my head.
Oh wait, no. Since these creatures are very bad at flying, I don't think it can actually turn around. It needs to land first before it can. Okay, so this creature awkwardly has to land first because it can't do. It swooped down, so it's stuck in this maneuver. It's not agile enough to do much. It lands, then it turns around, then it tries to go back to flying. So it spends much of its time just trying to get at Argus.
Oh my gosh.
But that's kind of where that turn ends. Argus.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop the sun rod on the floor. I'm just gonna go full ham on this fucking idiot. I don't suppose this thing, since it's flying, would be a little bit easier to hit.
No. It's
All right,
as
fair enough.
I mean, that is a good question. I mean, I guess it is directly flying at you, so sure.
All right, in that case, I'm gonna attack the one that's behind me.
Oh.
Namely, let me just alt-click it. There, I'm targeting this.
You spin around, using all that forward momentum to miss.
Yeah.
I can see the
Let's
future,
do
and I
it.
see a 1.
Well, it's not a 1, but it's definitely not whatever is required.
It's not what you need. These. Oh, well, that one's going to hit it.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, the last one is with a penalty. I never really contribute to that. Contribute.
So,
Never really rely on
well,
that.
they are tough, and it's really hard to get a good cut in them. Once you actually start cutting them, there's not much to their body. There's not much to their mass. Like, it's like trying to crush a snail. Like, the shell is the hard part, but once you do anything, it's like, yeah, you're probably gonna kill it.
Well, judging by the picture, it's basically like an umbrella. I'm just slicing it, dicing it.
Matthias, what do you do?
5 foot step, full attack this one right here. 'Cause... Go down, fool.
Be gone, fool.
Begone, thought.
Oh yeah.
Holy
Shun
shit.
thought.
With a
Hell
double,
yeah.
with a double slash, you render it into nothing but scraps.
Holy crap.
Well, DG, since you're going to be so difficult, it's pretty sure that if it wraps itself on the body of your dog, by hopping off of your head, it can wrap itself around the dog and just start squeezing the backside and drink the spinal fluid. That seems like a very tasty idea.
Joke's on you. I can't see where it is. Bonk.
Oh, so select your dog real fast. Notice how the darkness gets twice as big?
Shit.
I think that's because it's just twice as much good light vision. So yeah, that's stupid. It multiplies that too. Well, it fails to grab onto your dog, so that's nice.
Oh, thank God.
This one directly land on top of good friend here, but since he gets he hit, so it just lands on the ground mostly harmlessly, has to set itself up and then hops directly at you. Hop. It does this adorable little hop. It's adorably painful.
Yeah.
As its beak latches onto your leg. Would you like to roll me that grapple?
See.
There's a creature latch onto your leg, and it's starting to burrow. You have a dog. Did you know that?
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn. Sorry. I just noticed that. Okay. Would he get attack of opportunity if he moved to here?
I don't think these creatures seem to have the distance to really do that. Like, they're pretty small and very limited at what they can do, so I'm just going to say no.
The darkness disappear, by the way.
Yeah, it's not really relevant anymore. People are not going to stand there.
Yeah, I'm going to attack this dude to get him off DG.
Let him go!
Let him go! 7.
So, if you've ever played Twilight Princess, Wolfling can sometimes just grabs bats out of air and fucking tears into pieces. That's kind of what happens. Just goes chomp and just worries it around until it stops moving.
Yay.
I mean, the wound on your leg doesn't get any better from that, but hey, it's off.
That's all that matters. I'm gonna do a sling attack on this dude. I can't even see him. Shit. I know he's there.
That disadvantage because he's in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll shoot this dude because I can't see him. I
Sure.
know he's there, but I can't.
Why can't you see? Oh yeah, then go ahead, roll me something.
You'd be able to see both of them now.
That's what I'm thinking. Cause like this one just grappled me.
Yeah, you can see him. Like there's
Oh,
enough
yeah?
light around. The darkness is only
Okay.
near this cupboard.
Okay, I'm gonna attack this one then.
Show me the beans. Well,
Oh.
just like Aramis, it's you're gonna need a little bit of practice. Aramis
Okay.
is mostly going to focus on. Is he any good with healing? No, he's not gonna bother with that. He's just gonna lean up against the wall. Woe's me! Why do I not have a potion of cure minor wounds? I could have all my actions back. Ooh. Whoa.
What is that?
Sounds like a little baby human.
Get away
Wait,
from
no.
my lizard.
No, hold on. We did. Also, that's very sweet. I think we did pick up potions, and I believe one of the points that we made that Hermes could probably use that because I do have
Yeah.
2 on me right now, and I think we split them last time.
Well,
I have.
what
I
does
have-
it?
Potion.
I have a cure moderate on me.
I have
I
Cure
have-
Serious.
Cure light.
But there's a red potion. There's also 3 potions in the chest we didn't identify yet as well.
Mhm.
There are purple and something else.
Ooh. I can cast the Warmer Wand on him.
And that makes one more nicely chopped into pieces. He needs to feel the. Oh, God, listen. When I say he does it, then he does it. Listen, you just gotta believe. It goes bleh, bleh. Argus, the last one looks like it's gonna fly out of here in a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out the javelin. I'm gonna just throw it at it.
I mean, it's impressive that you're trying to throw a javelin at a creature that small, but go ahead. Impress the class. Oh, wow. Despite the fact that you have the
Yes.
melee penalty, you somehow impale and spear this thing from a distance. I guess you did impress the class then, huh? Fucking Carcass the Grump. Eh.
I'm gonna use the potion on him. Hold on. Nope. Nope.
Give him. Ooh.
Nice.
That's more hit points than he needs.
He can return one later.
Well,
Spit that up. You don't.
Damn, he only has
Spit
9
it
hit
up.
points.
He only has 8
Hit points.
actually.
Only 8? Holy shit.
well, he's a wizard and his con mod is 0.
You
D4s don't go far.
You should eat better. I keep making him nice food and everything, but I guess like what, 5 days is not enough for him to buff up a little bit.
Well, you know what? If you want to make a spectacular meal, tell me next time, and we'll see if maybe you can get something really rousing going for this boy. Get him
Yeah,
some meat
absolutely.
on his bones.
Yeah,
Bring
exactly.
you to the hammer stalls. We'll give you a real training regimen.
We're gonna get him some meat on his bones, and then we're gonna get him some bones on his meat.
Gross.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to
Right.
hear any of it. Everyone gets 250 experience points from this harrowing experience.
250.
Yes.
All right, let me break out the calculator because I'm too sleep deprived to count it probably. How many? 250, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, 70, 80, 30 for me.
How lovely.
7830.
I mean, the second like you heal him up to full, he immediately tries to straighten himself out a little bit and try to look more impressive.
I'm gonna tell him exactly that. You look very impressive.
I must say this whole dungeon business is a bit different than I thought it would be.
Mm,
You know, when people write about it, they always write about the amazing stories, the big things they fight, the fantastic spells they cast, but instead I just feel like an idiot, stumbling around in the dark.
well, that's all of us. I mean, nobody would probably write about walking into a room and getting attacked by a bunch of parasols.
Fair enough, I guess. I mean, his face is grimaces as he tries to process that emotion.
Yeah.
There's ups and downs to life, just like ups and downs to adventuring.
Okay, I'm going to inform everybody that I noticed that the dog was doing noises, scratching its ears. If any of you see the dog reacting, maybe that's a good sign that maybe we should like square up. The darkness, I guess, is
Square
no
up.
longer- do these things look edible at all?
Actually, let me just check. I just want to make sure that they're not like, if they're ever, okay, they're magical beasts, so yeah, you could probably eat them if you wanted to. There's not much meat to their bones, but hey.
Not
I'll see
eating
if I
that
can-
crap.
They're- I'm gonna
Nice.
see if I can cook them into something. Maybe it's like, sure, why not? It's free food.
I mean, they are lots of muscle, so good protein.
Yeah.
That being
I
said,
don't like seafood. Looks too much like seafood.
Okay. Yeah. I just imagine Olaf is like, yeah, I don't eat worms, and it's like just a bowl of noodles. All right, let me unclick that so it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm gonna. Is everybody healthy? Because I can't see Diagawa's health.
Yeah,
You
I'm
didn't
good.
there we go.
touch me.
I just healed
Oh,
myself.
could you make it so we could see the health of Irma's spad?
oh yeah, sure. Didn't even think about that. I thought I had said
Matthias,
it.
are you good?
Me?
Yeah, I'm seeing your health. It kind of looks low.
He got hit once, I think.
I got hit once.
Listen,
But
he's not Ermis. That is not one hit point he's missing.
yeah, that's like 10 probably.
Yeah,
Can I
we got
use-
a locked
can I-
door here.
Speaking of which, can I try using like heal on the guy as well? Touch him
Sure,
up?
you can cast your spells if you want to.
Well, I don't have the spells to heal. I have the one with 1 hit point.
That's what you can heal.
No, you don't have level 1 heal. You don't have level 1 spells?
I use the
He's
blast.
only
and I use
a
detect. I'm level 1.
He's only a one cleric. Yeah.
I used detect undead, and I used blast in the previous fight. So I'm out of first level spell slots.
Oof.
Hold on. Where's
Yeah,
that?
he ain't as far ahead
Wait.
as you are.
Hold on.
There we go.
You're cleric level 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's
So
got a
what's your
decent wisdom score, like plus
yeah?
one.
So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus your bonus plus your domain.
Yeah, I still have one cause fear.
Okay. That's your domain spell, right?
Yes, the domain that I prepared for today.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Oh shit! Hold on. The fate domain is not on the thing, so I haven't added it. So I should have like improved initiative, I believe. From that.
If you have the
Oh.
fate domain, you get improved initiative. Yes.
Yes, but I didn't see it in the compendium, is what I'm saying. There.
You didn't see.
I was trying it. I was trying to add that before the game.
Improved initiative is not part of the SRD, and I don't know if they're planning to add those anyway. So if you want me to give you improved initiative, you can just drag that feat over on yourself by hand. By the way, if you want me to make the domain for you, we'll take care of that after this game.
I'm gonna
Game,
We can
game bonus
cover that after the game.
Matthias, I'm
and
gonna
plus
give you
bonus.
2 points of healing.
Alrighty.
Olaf, you closely examine the door you're in front of. It
And
has a large.
You get sorry.
It has a large padlock, but because of you're not quite sure how this works, but the door it has this it's like someone pushed really hard around where the door locking mechanism is. So you're pretty sure that even if you had the key, you're not sure you could open this padlock anymore.
Someone
well-
used too little force on this door. I mean,
Also, to take a step back, I rolled a 21 on that heal check. Can I help Matthias? I want to keep all of his blood on the inside, where the blood should be.
But does it look like the door's been pushed from the other side or from this side?
I don't know how to explain this, but imagine you take a rectangle and you add another corner on one side that goes in a bit. Like someone took a triangle bite out of one side, but it's by force. Like the surrounding
Yeah,
door frame pushed into it and squeezed it.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's a pentagon now.
Yeah, but not in the traditional
Yeah,
way where it's all
I
outwards.
don't think we're getting through this doorway.
Where does this game keep its domains? Gosh, gotta figure out how to do that too. Oof. Oof.
It keeps domains if I go to.
I'll figure it out, Argus. You don't have to. I'll figure it out.
What does that 21 heal check do for Matthias?
For Matthias, well, he's in such a good shape. It's kind of hard to really patch him up anymore than you're currently capable of. Like he's a healthy guy. He probably just strained himself a bit, and you don't know how to handle that on the to the
All
double.
right, fair enough. Fair enough.
In front of you is a big iron door, but it appears to be unlocked. Up ahead is a large chamber. Now, as before, it's a bit mishmash, but in this one there's a set theme. There's lots of statues around. Most interesting is this large statue located right about here, in the fringes of your light. A bunch of statues have been gathered around, all to praise a large stone chest.
I'm gonna quietly close that down. I'm gonna say I don't trust this one bit. What do you think we should do?
Smash all the statues before we move.
I just kind of look at Digi. It's like all fully weird of you to be like that violent today.
Violence. It's to prevent violence.
Well, I was right behind him when he opened the door. What does statues look like?
Many of these statues look like dwarves. However, there are a couple that look like proper humans, like tall people.
What
in
if-
the chapel.
what if-
I'm not worried at all.
Can I push the things away, like the statues on the floor?
Yeah, not all of them are like.
Desecrate my people's home.
Did
I
the
feel
door
like these are gonna
just
like
close behind
magic.
us?
I feel like these statues are gonna come to life, like they do in those books. And I'm kind of skeptical.
Not all the statues are upright. Many of them are on the floor. Additionally, some of the statues look as if they've been defaced already. In the
I'm right
sense that their
behind Olaf.
faces have been misshapen. With others, their hands are the wrong way around.
Someone's already desecrated this chapel. These
Oh.
poor wards didn't summon. They don't look right.
You said there was a statue right here that's looking at what?
There's a
again?
center. There's a circle of statues in the center that overlook a large stone chest.
Can I
Aramis.
detect magic to
Oh,
see
yeah, you could also.
if there's like any magic on these statues?
Let's have a look around, buckaroo. Well, your detect magic goes up. As with Argus before, you do pick up this ambient transmutation of energy. This weird ambient flow. But none of these statues emit any magic. In fact, there's nothing magical in the chest. But they are. This is just made of stone, so it's possible the stone is interfering with that ability.
Shit.
Those bastards. Look what they did to Hanseth.
Who?
You just see Olaf like
That's
looking at
Olaf's
one of
god.
the- yeah. See Olaf sadly looking at one of the statues.
Well, I'm sticking close to him.
Aramis
I
checks
open-
every single statue very closely, specifically to find hinges.
Hmm.
Because he's just like, listen, I'm not getting jumped again.
I'm gonna open the chest.
If he says that, can I? No, that would be rude. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm not gonna get jumped again. I just wanted to sneak out and just like, boo.
He has to be here, standing in this circle, squeezing a bit past the circle of fine individuals. So you want to open the chest? I mean, it doesn't seem to be locked, so you can just whoop it open.
Maybe step to the side from it if you.
Come on,
Oh,
put.
she's opening the chest.
It's really hard to open a stone lid without standing directly in front of where the hinges expect you to be. You know.
All right, everyone get back. I really don't care, but fine.
He walks
Hey.
over to the stone chest and he says, "Everyone get back. Everyone get back."
Wait, am I opening it or you? Or is it
What-
because
you have the strength to do it? You basically sounded like it was like
No, she could.
Some
She can
brute.
totally open it if she wants to.
All right,
Yeah.
well, if you want to do it, fine. I mean, everyone else, back with me.
Aramis
weird.
has his hands on a spell component pouch like he's about to quick draw in a duel.
hey, Wizard, get back over here. You don't want to die.
I'm opening the chest. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
I just saying I didn't check it for mimics yet.
I open it and then I quickly move out. I
Well,
guess.
Well, first and foremost, when you put your hands on it, it's not sticky, so it's probably not a mimic. Everyone knows that mimics are sticky for some reason. You know, they just get stuck and then they slam you in the back of the head with their fist and then they just eat you up when you're unconscious. That's not what happens.
Tentacles.
When you put your hands on it, you're like pushing it open in that Zelda-esque. Everyone else watches as one of the statues behind you just fucking clocks you in the side of your head.
I knew it. I
Yeah.
fucking knew it.
Then why did you
Ugh.
do it?
yeah, like we're all
I should have broke it. I should have broke it. Ugh, so stupid.
Just fucking banana slammer.
My God, it's
Motherfuck.
thick.
like gargoyle.
Well, let's go rescue the druid lady.
I
Wow.
fucking knew it. I'm gonna destroy every statue I see now.
In a mixture of common with some, if you speak Terran, you'll understand these very flamboyant swears he's using, but he's accusing you of being a thief. As he slams you. All right, that's enough banana
Olaf,
slammer jokes.
I told you that these statues are devilish.
Aramis almost immediately like ready to pull out his gun.
There's his finger gun with fireballs and stuff.
No scorching rays.
No, he can't do fireballs yet.
Get out
Can
of
he?
there! Pew, pew. I'm gonna show you what wizards are good. I'm not gonna suck, Mom. I swear. Matthias and Argus, you still haven't rolled initiative.
Oh,
Oh yeah, hold on. Sorry.
Thank you. Olaf,
alrighty.
you're like, whoa.
Oh, well, let's go rescue this lady.
have counted before backing up because I'm actually 5 feet away from charge.
Sure,
so
we'll
I
just
can't
say
act-
that you didn't move. We'll say that you stayed within like charging distance of everything, just in case. You're a
Okay,
fighter. You're
thank you,
smart.
thank you. Charge!
This creature did not
Speaking-
expect this, so he's like, "Wait, what? You want to get? Oh, show me the
Speaking
roll."
of char-
That is a fantastic axe swing, but
Yeah.
there's a part that you aren't gonna like. It barely seems affected by that.
oh
What
my
the
God.
fuck?
It's resistant to physical, non-magical.
Probably since it seems to be mostly made out of stone. It looks at. Gosh darn it! It really wants to. You know what, DG? You don't look like a threat. You're like a squishy human person. This guy's made out of metal, and he's like, okay, I gotta fight the golem
Oh,
first. That makes sense.
He is. He's
Yep.
made out of metal, right?
I'm pretty much made out of metal.
Olaf
Cool.
does not walk into the room as much as he clangs like a bunch of pots and pans.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he at one point at least he
Oh
could
my
use
god.
So
cooking
the
pot.
claw will hit me for 2 damage because I charged in.
Unfortunately, your
Everything else will-
your reckless charge cost you. Okay, listen, Oh my goodness. You feel these heavy swings bounce off, but luckily your armor will. Why he?
What's going on?
I'm so angry at how this. No, cool. There, 2 damage applied. I win game. You feel these battering blows hit you, and if it wasn't for that charge, you would have been able to sustain all of them. But your armor fails you just a moment, forcing you to adjust. Ooh. Matthias, can someone teach this fucking wizard point blank shot, please, and then precise
will.
shot?
Is
Time
it
to move
something we
over
can actually
here.
like roleplay training?
Probably.
I'm putting that in the notes because I want to try that.
All right, I can't charge to do much anywhere. I'm just gonna use my full movement action, have my blades out, ready to eventually get there and be flanking buddies with Olaf. That's my turn.
Would you attack with a bow, maybe?
I don't think.
I think he's smart enough to go. Okay, that probably won't work.
If a giant axe swing ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
Argus.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up 30 feet. Since I don't necessarily have. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can charge with a long spear. That would be within the distance.
Let's see if you can damage it.
Yes. Nope.
Well, since you charge, you actually hit him.
Oh.
You do 1 damage.
Oh yeah, he's got
my
a
God.
10 DR, huh?
Yeah, you're trying to hit something that seems to be made out like it. You might go like, okay, it just looks like stone, but you go into it with your spear, and it's like, okay, that is just fucking stone.
Right. Well, I'm not gonna bite it. My teeth grow back, I guess, but
I am Aramis, master of good scorchy times. I can hit things. I swear.
I can do it, I swear.
It's gonna. I think he's actually close enough that it's already good. Okay, cool. Cool. Range 30 feet. Just making sure that he can actually make the shot. Yes, he can. Good for you, Aramis. Oh, that actually hits. Good job. Yep, you hit him for 40. Oof, man, I forgot that's actually pretty beefy. Aramis fires a beam of fire that streaks through the room. And this thing has barely any touch AC, and despite the fact that it's a melee, it gets hit pretty solidly. And it doesn't have any resistance to fire by the looks of it. A good magical spell will hit it as good as anything else. DG.
I'm gonna cast heat metal on it.
It's made of stone.
You said it, he's made out of metal
No,
like 2
no,
times.
Olaf.
That's not about Olaf.
The loud and
I'm
Oh.
made out of metal.
Okay. Fuck.
Sorry. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Didn't mean to bully.
I guess just attack with sling. I don't. Are you looking bad, Olaf?
I'm barely touched.
Well, he's
Olaf
pretty
took his
out there,
first
so-
hit point. I mean, he got fucked up.
First
early,
of
but-
all,
Out of character, I'm 34 out of 36, so yeah, I'm fine.
Hurl. I mean, you hit it, but
doesn't do any damage.
no. Olaf. Luckily, you wield that axe like a pickaxe. With force.
Oh my god. Will the bite work? Will that crunch his teeth up?
I mean, he can try it. It's not. He's not gonna bite in such a way that'll shatter his teeth. But
Okay.
so the fun part is, I think that technically speaking, he can still try to knock him prone.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just needs to hit. So oppose strength roll if you want one. Where's
For
the?
the dog, yeah.
Wow. He is stone.
Imagine.
Oh,
He
good.
is immobile. Hey, if you roll 20, he falls over.
That's right.
So go ahead and roll strength on that dog. Give me that dog.
Is it? It's fortitude save,
I
right?
literally
Or-
just said strength.
Sorry.
Almost.
So close.
He watches his bullets fly off his head, his dogs tear up its arms. Like, come on, man. You come to rob me, and you're not even ready to take the pain. Once more, it unloads onto Olaf. Realizes that this isn't working out, and wonders if it kills the people around it, Olaf will go away
Return.
because it's scared.
My turn.
Olaf, I skipped. To be fair, Gigi was in the way. What do you want to do, Olaf? People confuse me with bites.
Yeah, that's... Would Olaf think that a magical weapon would work on this thing?
I mean, there are like the thing is, on a normal actual stone thing, no. But there are like rumors and telltale things that magical weapons
Okay.
tend to work better.
In character, he's not. I'm gonna say he probably wouldn't think that.
If he's a-
I don't think he's fought a gargoyle before, so I'm gonna say no. So instead, he's going to try and push the sucker down, I guess. Am him with my shield.
I have a question. That's it. If I wonder if the automated system can account for DR magic or not. I hope it does.
Hey.
All right, show me the goods.
What the hell?
Shit.
Well, that was juicy.
So, about that pushing people to the ground, Mr. Olaf.
Ugh,
He tries it back. He's gonna take that chance.
fun.
Come on, Olaf. You're strong. You're a big man. You are.
Wow.
What a bunch of goons bouncing off each other. Matthias.
It's try to do big math here, real quick. Okay,
I need to think
so
big.
I'm gonna try because I want that flanking and the bonus, but then I'm also going to power attack, but I'm also going to K strike at it as well. So maybe I could actually do a little more damage.
Oh my goodness, he unleashes his full fury.
So if I fail
Kyle,
miserably,
can
at least I did my best.
Roll one.
All right, there. Power attack there. Where's my little thing so I can do the
This is
key
where you
strike
flick
right
up all the
there.
buttons.
Oh fuck! I'll screw all this up. All right, go.
Nice. Oh, you didn't screw it up at all.
Well, you hit it, and you dealt 4 damage. So that's something. Hey, it's starting to feel the pain, which is
There
to say
you
that,
go.
which is to say that the thick. Imagine you mixing gravel sand with blood. That's what you get. This thick stuff. Ugh. Well, that was that. That was quite impressive. Argus, be careful because it looks like Matthias could cut you in half if he really wanted to. Oof.
I know. That's why he's an ally. What I want to do is I want to. Well, quote unquote, it's going to be a step forward and then full attack. But what I want to do is I'm going to jump off of Olaf and just full attack in the eyes. I'm going to go for the eyes, chick ticker.
Practice this maneuver before, so Olaf will bend down as a springboard.
Sure. Go ahead, Argus.
All right. Well, I'm not going to move my token, but assume that I do that, and that would be.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's the 1. That's the 2. Well, and I suppose for good measure, that.
Oh,
Never mind. I missed.
Shit.
0 damage to the creature.
Yeah.
Aramis thinks you
No,
guys
confirm.
are pathetic.
Would I be clinging to it, or would end on the other end of this, on the other side of me?
Wait, what are you talking about?
He's
Eh.
left off me to do the attack. He's wondering if he's on the other side of the creature now.
Well, sure. Go ahead and put yourself where you want to be, big boy. I'm looking something up because this guy knows Shatter. Would that work?
Boy. It will work, but it will shatter himself too, I guess.
No, I mean Aramis knows Shatter, and I don't think any of you are going to be affected by that because it only works on unattended objects or creatures. So, oh, it's only really a small spread anyway. Aramis has a spell called Shatter that's specifically designed to hurt things made of crystal and stone and all that fun jazz. I say that it works on a stone creature too, because I think that Shatter deserves it, because he's worth it.
Yeah.
Which means that he does 3d10.
Negates.
No, 4's half, I think.
What's
More than
half
5
or
feet
will
away from
negate?
Olaf. He's
That's an object.
legally
Never mind.
unattended.
Oh no, he didn't make that save. I'm guessing.
He feels the massive vibrations run through its body, loosening the stone. You can tell that this creature is going to probably run away if it gets the chance, because it is looking bad, and it would rather... It's not going to die for the contents of that chest. Or it's going to tear your spellcaster apart and fucking rip him into many pieces. It can also do that. That sounds like a great idea, actually. I like that one. DG, it's your turn.
No, he better not. I'm gonna cast Flaming Sphere on this dude.
You just drop a fucking ball of fire on his head. Great.
Yeah.
Well, show me your... Oh, boy. That, yeah. Roll me damage, please. 2d6.
/art.
I'm so... God damn it. That is...
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
That instantly... So he had 5 hit points. That instantly kills him. And brings him
Yay.
down. So he's you see him turn to this man's like, oh, you arrogant, and then a fireball lands on top of him and leaves this large burning streak on his back.
Oh my god.
Bill Theridin.
It probably looks like that when you drop like a hot nickel thing on ice. It just melts through it. It's disgusting.
So Argus, since you're facing him, you can see Aramis like for a moment thinking he was going to watch a flashback of his own life, but then he's like, yes.
I waved to him.
I told you I could prove my worth for once. Ugh. But not like this. Well, let us see to whom the spoils or whatever fall.
Can I give Aramis a high five, saying that he did a good job? Or I give everyone a high five.
Aramis likes high fives. He feels special now.
Yeah.
It's a down low
Good
for our
job.
Good job, everyone. Woo!
Good
Cool.
job. You didn't die.
probably for oh my god. All right. Well, let's do a high five.
High five. Woo!
Okay,
Oh, God.
welcome to a part where I start to do fun stuff.
Special
Everyone but Argus gets 225 experience points. Argus,
Yes.
you and the other guy get 200. Aramis is also effective level, so
225.
Exactly 200, correct?
yes.
Okay.
Because I'm going to call the session here, and because I think it's always fun to end on a fun note. How about we roll in one of the fun treasure tables?
All right.
Who here feels that they deserve to roll that sexy D10 and see what comes out?
Olaf's place. Olaf deserves it, I think.
Right.
Yes.
What did my orange ancestors
What did they leave you?
just leave me?
What wondrous prizes?
See.
Wait a minute. How does this...
See.
It says this table has 10 entries, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it... Oh, it's because for some reason 4 is weighted 3... What? What? How does it weigh... I don't understand you, Sandra. Get out of here. So this would be 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, cool. You know what? Let's have some fun. You open it up. You find inside the chest several large sets of armor. To be specific, you find a masterwork-like crossbow, very finely made, with an intricate motif of, well, you're not quite sure. It's a bit too weathered on the wooden parts to see. This is why you make them out of stone. All right, I'm going to add these to the group inventory. To the cart.
Inventory.
Yes, here you go. One masterwork-like crossbow. There's a breastplate in there. There's a small plate in there, a small half plate, and a normal half plate.
Hmm.
The specific inscription on the chest, which is in Dwarven, mentions that this belonged to some old adventuring group of some kind, and these were all the things that they said saved their life one day. So that's cute.
I'm using this masterwork light crossbow.
I mean, Aramis could use it, but he doesn't consider it a priority.
It takes strength to use it, right?
A crossbow? No. A master warlock crossbow is dex.
It's still to hit. It just doesn't add damage to rolls, I think. Or something.
Also in this chest is a large coffer containing 7,000 silver pieces.
Holy Jesus Christ, we're gonna take forever to carry that out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure out some way to transport that later. There's also a wand in there, and some sort of potion.
I would suggest we actually go outside and maybe rest up with a troglodyte sword, literally outside.
Yes.
Haul this stuff to our cart and hang out
Mhm.
with our cart.
Can I get the masterwork light crossbow?
Hey, if no one says no,
Sure, you-
go for it.
I was
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead. I'd give it to Aramis, but he doesn't seem to be too excited about it.
I mean, he would like it, but he wants to feel good with spells for once.
Well, he does a good job with spells.
He's just a big fussy boy. Pat, pat. Let's take a look. So I'm gonna roll some spellcraft and we'll see if it can
Now,
identify anything for you.
When that thing says small, this means it's for small.
It's for
creatures.
small people. It's for babies.
Like halflings or goblins or etc.
Will it fit on a wolf?
No. Why would it?
A lot bigger than small, that's for sure.
Cool. Amherst figures out what those potions are. You got a Cure Light Wounds on your hand, a Shield of Faith, and a Bowls of Strength.
Ooh.
Also, DG can tell you that that's a wand of Cure Light Wounds. She's seen her before by now. Or at the
Yeah.
very least understands the basic function. They're pretty obvious. This is one of those standardized ones that people make for like, I'm going to sell this and never look back. So I'm going to
There you
make it
go.
in a way that everyone understands what it is. Because that makes sense.
It has 10 charges. Okay. Do you mind if I take this one because you have one that is slightly
Yeah, you
bigger?
can.
I think. Okay. I'll just drag it
Gala
over.
has our oh shit, someone's about to die wand, and you have the let's give everyone the full wand.
Handsome. Let's see. Potion of Protection from Evil. I need to set that one up.
I like that this thing actually tells us that if I can use it to block something, and it will break probably, but I can use it to reduce the damage of the attack. That's amusing. I'm going to
Matthias,
hand. I'm
do
going.
you use strength for your damage modifier as a samurai?
Yes.
I think you take the potion of bull strength.
All right then.
I do it for my ranged attacks too. I'm gonna hand one potions that I had of Cure Light Wounds to Aramis just in case, and I'm gonna take the one from the box.
Protection from Evil gives you a +2 deflection bonus to AC and a +2 resistance bonus to saves against evil creatures. Additionally, there's some special stuff related to if they're trying to take over your mind. And also, summoned creatures can't touch you physically. So natural attacks tend to fail. It's pretty cool.
Taffy,
Yes.
just so we don't forget, I took the one potion from the box and I gave the one that I had to Aramis, just in case.
Handsome. Where did you... Okay, where's that potion now?
I have two in my inventory right now. Just click and drag one from
Okay,
there.
cool. I'll give Aramis a pick him up. Potion.
I thought he had one, but I guess he didn't pick one up, so it's fine. Did you drag it? Can I delete one extra copy? Okay.
Do you need to buy arrows in order for it to pop up in your attack menu?
Wait, what do you say?
You know how you click on your person and then you get to attack with your like weapons and all that?
Right click? Yeah.
No, it does not track your bolts and shit for you. You gotta do that manually.
How do you add your weapon in the attack thing then? Because I can only see my sling, but I can't see the.
Oh,
Create
you
a
have to.
weapon attack from your
Okay,
weapon.
here, I'll take care of it for you. But the way it works is you have to create attack for things. And you do that by going into your inventory, then clicking the edit box on the right side. And then once you have that menu open for the item itself, there's a button at the bottom that says create attack.
Okay, got it.
Olaf, can you help me put this on later?
Oh shit. I've
Yeah, when you taking that half plate?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sure. I'll strap you in.
nice.
Oh wait, no, hold on. It needs to be fitted first. Ugh.
Yeah.
We can figure that out later.
Better than my sling. Okay.
Please remember that Aramis can totally get killed by a stray crossbow bolt.
Yeah.
With his
No.
8 hit points.
Technically,
know.
you could wear it if it's not fitted, but you'll lose AC. And I think your +1 breastplate is better than a non-fitted plate mail.
I think it's.
I do not
I don't
have
think
any
half plate
armor
has that
though.
problem though.
But you don't have you.
I'm not wearing armor. I just get +5 natural AC.
Okay.
I can put the breastplate on because I don't think that has too many joints.
I mean,
Oh, you know what? What half plate would not need to be fitted because it's a breastplate, epaulets, elbow guards, gauntlets, tasses, and greaves. It's not like
the
metal
full
plate.
Yeah. I like the idea of Argus strapping on a breastplate like that's not meant for his kind. It just awkwardly hangs there a bit.
I know. Yeah, it would be weird.
You're goofy.
So, would it work or would it not work? Because
It would.
there are 2 points.
I'd say you can wear a breastplate, but it's not quite as effective for you, Argus.
Meaning?
Well, be fair for our breastplate. Let's take a look. See. Well, I'd say that you lose like 1 or 2 points. Because again,
All right, fair enough.
it hangs a bit loose, so it's easier to get around.
All right, fair enough.
How many
But
did
hey.
you get again?
You're flashy.
Yeah. We'll figure it out on the rest. I guess we're just gonna move right now to the entrance.
Got it.
Cool. Well, you spent a nice amount of time in the dungeon, and you managed to make your way out without too much hassle, since there hasn't been too much time for things to notice that you're there. One of you, however, is going to have to roll me a fort save. But who will it be?
I could do it.
Sure. If you want to be the one to make this one, you can do it for me.
Yes.
A modifier.
You know what? How about everyone roll me this? 'Cause it's just funnier that way.
Everyone fort. Let's see what you got.
Cool. And I'm gonna roll some GM rolls if I can. This is GM rolls, right? That's not a. What do you mean it's not a valid command? Fine.
Poor Argus rolled a 7.
Argus is the only one here who's a bit weenie. Aramis, however, is also a giant weenie. Yeah, he's a big weenie.
And
He rolled a 10.
Oh.
Say, you rolled my modifier, Argus.
I'm a weenie. Don't bully me. Whoops, I did that one wrong.
Private, hello.
Oh, Argus, let's see if anything happens. And if nothing happens, well, you know, ooh. Well, Argus, good news.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to happen to you, but you do feel like the ambient energies of this place are subtly working on you. A couple of your scales turn a slightly lighter shade, and with Aramis, there's this odd sense that his horns are just a bit spikier at the ends now.
Oh my god, if I'm gonna get crunchy bones in the game and in real life, that's gonna be fucking amusing.
Crunch.
Well, yeah, if I trip and fall, they could fucking end up in a hospital. So
You
know,
take your rest
that's
outside,
true. Yeah.
navigating the dungeon. And next time, we'll see where the rest of the roads will take you.
Is it possible for Aramis or Diagala to try and investigate what the heck is going on with that?
Well, that's a knowledge arcana roll, since this is more theoretical stuff than practical application. Luckily, he apparently paid attention in class. It's one of his best subjects. That's 24.
By the way.
Boop. Boop. So he just kind of scratches his chin. He's not sure what to make of it at all, because this doesn't feel like something that he's seen before. You're sitting outside. He starts drawing stuff on the ground in chalk, doing math in his head like a big nerd would.
Don't call him a nerd. He's just smart.
Nerd. Wait,
Like
my family were.
genius.
Eventually, he comes back to you with what he thinks is an answer. All right. Well, the best I can tell, there's Well, it's hard to explain, but whatever this is, it's a massive source of transmutative energies. Simply put, there's like imagine, you know, the Philosopher's Stone, the legendary item that could turn lead to gold.
Argus is like just clueless.
Well, imagine you had a giant pile of things that when you get close to them, things change. Like a rock becomes a sponge, and a sponge becomes a rock, and your hair grows longer, then short shrinks back down again.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
That's what I think is going on. Is that there's something below this place that is causing sort of like a magic spillage. It causes subtle effects, but I can only imagine it gets worse the closer we get to it.
So we shouldn't get close to it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a fantastic place to find some very powerful items, because whatever it is, either someone with magical intentions came close to it, or someone with great magical intentions was near it. His wizard side is talking.
Yeah, I understand, but
Additionally, doesn't it sound like something that the hobgoblins would want? A device that can change anything? Sounds like something you could do a lot of evil with.
okay, but what did they get changed into?
We'll ask every single plant and shrub along the way if they were a hobgoblin in a past life.
Okay. Like, Argus is just 100%. Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Licks eyeball.
Well, not necessarily. I just do it to piss people off because I'd rather play along with the whole concept of, oh, it's just big dumb lizard. Why not?
Cool.
That way I can tell who's a racist asshole.
Next time, we're going to roll ourselves the delightful roll to see if anything happens during the night. And then
Fair
we'll see.
enough.
Yes. But that was something.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
this session was
Fun
nice.
session.
This was really neat. The droid got decked, the hippie got punched. Olaf got punched so many times, but nothing got
Yeah.
through. Aramis got his just decked. But he is
I'm
better
surprised. I'm surprised you said that putting down, destroying statues is considered violence. It's kind of weird.
No, well, I mean, like Degal is always like, "Oh, let's not fight." No, he's like, "Let's break shit." I'm like, "Wow, okay."
Let's tear the
Break-
roof down.
That's
Let's,
a little
let's
violent.
break.
And that
Let's break shit so we won't die, sort of
let's
thing.
break shit so we won't. Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, you don't attack shit that will kill us all the time, is what he's saying.
Well, like,
I don't
why
know.
are you not slaughtering like then all the other things? Why you're trying peaceful resolution? If breaking those things is gonna kill them.
Not really.
Suspicious. Wait, what do you mean? If you break a goblin, goblin is not gonna kill you.
Yeah, but you can reason with a goblin.
You
Yeah,
can
like
reason with that
Reason
thing
with
too.
could have reasoned technically with the gargoyle too.
You could have, yes.
It's
But he was
both.
angry over that whole theft thing.
Well, I mean, technically, it's literally entrapment, and
Hey.
wait, no, not. It's not legal. Entrapment if you actually explicitly urge people to do something. It's like open the books. Oh no, you're a thief. You opened the book. Whatever.
Also, next time when the tanky character says, "Hey, I'll push it," if you let the tanky character push it.
Just don't be surprised if it's like a will or reflex save and he ends up
Yeah,
flying
that's
across
fine.
the room.
All I wanted to do is jump off of Olaf and just kind of go for the eyes and try to knock it over.
Aw.
But that didn't work.
I'm building this character as a truck. My will saves and reflex saves actually aren't that bad on this character.
What
They
does
really
your
aren't.
What does your license plate say?
I don't break for goblins.
don't break
Oh,
for goblins.
That makes sense. That I like it because it's a wordplay and it has two meanings. Because you don't break as in break an object, and you don't break as in step on the brakes.
Break me. Yeah, yep.
I like it. Well, I need to replenish my spell slots, of which I have 2.
Babu.